Hello and welcome to the Otter's Den. Grab your favorite beverage and snacks, grab a seat, and delve into the known and the unknown. We have shows every other Monday and every other Monday. Let me explain. One Monday, Joni and I discuss the current astrology, how it affects us both on personal, countrywide, and global scales, and then how to navigate through it all to improve our overall quality of life. The next Monday, Jan and Renee join me as we discuss, well, everything. This includes the paranormal, cryptids, psychic abilities, hauntings, attachment, possessions, aliens, abductions, self-help, life coaching, mental health, personal health, and the list goes on. Thank you in advance for joining us. Now, it's time to sit back and enjoy. Hi.
Hi.
It's time to sit back and enjoy. Okay.
Let me twist
I'm currently sharing us out.
Cool. I am too, actually. Shit, where'd chat go? Use people, private chat recording. Where did the chat go?
It should be on the right hand. Mine's on the right hand side.
Comments.
Found
it. Okay. We don't have any yet, but that's all right.
I have to hit join. There we go. Okay.
So how was your weekend?
Interesting.
Just interesting.
Just interesting.
Saturday was a little rough mentally. Not to mention people throwing shade that had to be dealt with. But once that was dealt with, Sunday was a damn good day. But then for some reason, this morning, and I still got to figure it out, I've got 2 different alarm apps on my phone. I've got 5 or 6 different timed alarms on each one, plus an alarm clock with 2 alarms. Normally, I wake up before any of them go off. Not this morning. I wake up with 5 minutes to get to work. And one of the alarms is going off on my phone, but there's no sound. Oh. And I verified before I went to bed, I had the sound turned up. I double checked, the sound was turned up, but there was no sound coming out of my phone. So I got to get that figured out.
Interesting. But
luckily we have what's called flex time, and I can just make it up after work.
That's good.
Yay, team.
That's funny because Jesse and Jacob both woke up Sunday to their alarms, and neither one of their alarms were going off.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Jacob said he woke up. He went to the bathroom, go take his morning shower, and he had pulled his clothes out and everything else. And then all of a sudden it hit him. Today's Sunday. Jesse did the same thing. Woke up at 4:00 in the morning. Got up, went to the bathroom to go take his morning shower.
Uh-huh.
And it hit him. It's Sunday. And I'm like, I'll just wake up at my normal time. Yeah. Well, I think they work 6 days a week. So it's, when you only have one day off.
Yeah, it's difficult to get out of that. Like on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I got off. And I will wake up at the same time I always do. So I just tell myself, okay, cool. If you had to get to work, you got plenty of time. But today, you can sleep in. So I'll grab another hour and then I'll wake back up anyway. But I've just kind of trained myself that way. Where the hell? What am I doing? Oh, I know. I'm sharing stuff. I'm sharing stuff. Yes. I don't know what stuff I'm sharing, but yeah.
Renee, you got some exciting
Oh.
news.
Yes. Well, it's official within the troop, but it's not official through national. Yeah, my son is now an Eagle Scout as of
Congratulations. Congrats.
and then
I'm proud.
we got a little something in the mail from a little somebody. So, well, he's not a little somebody, he's a big somebody.
He's big somebody.
He's a big somebody. So, my little somebody is how we broke the news to him was like, get out here right now. You have to explain yourself. And he goes, what? And I go, open this. And he goes, what? And I said, look very carefully at this envelope. And he's like, oh, it says my name and my address. I said, in the left-hand corner, you Nimrod. And he goes, that's, yeah. I said, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, you need to look at the address. For those that need to know, it just says Washington, D.C. on it. That's
right.
That's all I'm going to say. So he was pleasantly surprised.
I'm excited. I am so happy.
I'm proud.
Yeah. So
that's a huge accomplishment.
Yes, it is a huge accomplishment, and we're super duper proud of him. And Mom is now thankful because it's like the biggest, like all the other moms that I've ever talked to have been like, you don't get it until you're in it, and then when you're in it, you're just like, oh my God, it's such like a cyclone. And that's why they all say, like, I survived my son's Eagle project, or I survived my son's Eagle board. And I'm like, now I get it.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Because Tuesday night, he just stood up and, you know, the board said, okay, well, you need to stand up. And they say they were, and the thing is like, Mom's pretty good at reading the room. I'm pretty good at reading the room and reading people. They got me. They got past me, which I was kind of shocked about because I'm
really?
pretty. Yes. So I don't know what was going on. I don't know if somebody was throwing stuff so that therefore I couldn't see or but like I
could be
me off. So at the end of it, they kind of very stoic, stone face, like they're just like nonchalant, and it's like, you need to stand up, turn to your mother. So he turns to me and goes, you need to go give her a hug. You are officially an Eagle Scout. And the weight, like literally, like he came over and like he just collapsed and just was like ugly cries. Buttons. So, and then I ugly cried with him. So it was just, you know,
nice.
There's a lot of weight in that room. Like there, I was like, oh, but the fact that they got by me, I was like, at the end, I'm like looking at them going, how did you do that? How did you do that? You got by me. So it's been since April 7th. So it's been a roller coaster, which is good. Are we not getting comments?
We don't have one, and we have 0 people watching.
Ooh, how is that possible? And I shared.
I noticed I was having a very difficult time sharing to the Cobra Paranormal group page. So I'm wondering if what we're sharing is not being sent out.
And then I added a bunch of things and places that we could go to. So, yeah. So I don't know, because I don't feel right sharing to the other place because I haven't asked for permission if I need permission.
So I'm making a statement.
A statement, people.
Post.
You know, and I sent it everywhere. So
I'm making sure that we're on YouTube.
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I have saying connect a comment, connect your YouTube account to join. I have that in the right hand corner of where the comments should be.
Huh.
Which is fine. Because people will watch this later too, so it's fine.
Right. Oh, I know. I gotta switch profiles on my phone. Share it out to my other profile.
See, there you go.
So this weekend we got tomato beds done.
Nice.
Our one bed took over 30 bags of soil.
Holy crap.
Oh boy, that's a lot of soil.
The next one will take another 30 to 33 bags. And then the one that's in between is double the size of the other ones. So that's going to take like 66 bags. And then we have 2 other beds, possibly 3 that need to be made because we have like 836 plants we have to plant.
Yeah.
And I looked at Jesse and I
So that's
said, no, I think we need more soil.
More dirt.
I think you need to go find a landscaping company that could dump it in bulk for you. It sounds like it'd be cheaper.
Oh man, that one's a toss up. It wasn't bad. We had 3 pallets delivered. So the only thing, and I don't want to shovel it all.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't want to shovel it all. Like if we just went through and laid the soil down and didn't have the beds, that would be one thing. But I don't know. Nate got a workout.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sunday we celebrated Little Miss Thing's birthday early.
Nice.
Yeah.
Little Miss Thing. I love that.
She's something else. So she'll be 8 tomorrow. Dylan's birthday was on the 11th. He turned 25.
Oh boy. Busy.
Yeah. Pat's was on the 3rd. So it was just crazy. It's been crazy. This is our birthday season.
You get a lot of them coming up, don't you?
Yeah, I have a breeding season.
A breeding season.
Yeah. Nate's the only one not in breeding season. He's my Cancer. He's June.
Mm.
Yeah. The rest fall into like February and April. So what can I say? I'm like a heifer. Well, I was a milk cow for 4 years for 2 of them. So, I mean, I can literally say I was a heifer. And when our grandbaby's due soon, so our granddaughter, I'm pretty excited about that. We're starting to take bets on when she's coming.
Yep. Ain't gonna be long.
No. So now I got to get the diapers subscription. Listen, to anybody watching, if you want grandchildren, and a lot of them, the only thing you have to do is tell the kids that you're going to buy their diapers and wipes for 1 full year. And they'll pop them out.
Yep.
Telling you. You want to know the secret? That's my secret. Just diapers and wipes of your choice. I will get you the subscription. That diapers and wipes are the most expensive thing about having a baby.
Yeah.
They are. They really are.
So I'm not about getting them, the fancy clothes, the fancy this, the fancy that. I'll get you the meds. I'll get you the bathroom stuff. I'll get you the diapers and the wipes. And blankets. I make blankets. So
That's always good.
no, I'm excited. The only reason why I had kids was for grandkids. Unfortunately, I had to have the kids before I get the grandkids. So, I mean, I had to suffer through parenthood.
You're terrible.
Am I really? Am I really? I love my kids. Don't get me wrong. But my grandkids, they fucking rock.
Yeah.
I'm all about being a grandma. Fuck this mom shit. Mom's got to work. Mom's got to do the hard shit. I'm over it.
Right?
Right?
Grandma just gets to spoil and send them home.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the littlest one that we have, that's what we do. Spoil him, spoil him, spoil him. I looked at our oldest and said, I might have fed him chocolate for breakfast. Fight me.
Might have. Yeah.
And he doesn't even argue. He doesn't. He just looks at me and he laughs and he shakes his head. I sent him pictures a couple of months ago, and it was right away in the morning. And he goes, "Is that Oreos?" I said, "You didn't see shit."
Mm. You didn't see nothing. It's got flour. It has eggs, I think, or some kind of dairy product. I mean, I'm sure the food groups are in there.
Right.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, cake can be breakfast. It's got eggs, it's got flour, it's got flours and bread.
And you know what? And there's this is probably going to be controversial and probably get us knocked off somewhere. I mean, I'm going to mention this guy's name for a hot minute. Bill Cosby had a whole thing about that.
Yeah.
Chocolate cake for breakfast.
It's got the flour. Yes. It's got the eggs. It's got the milk.
Yep. That is great. That tells you how old we are. Because chocolate cake. See, like, oh my God, that's been a long time since that one. So,
I mean, why not ice cream?
What the fuck is Goonie and Goo Goo?
Goonie Goo Goo. That's Eddie Murphy.
Your wife's a Bigfoot.
Oh my God. See, now I'm going to have to go watch that. I'm on spring break. God rest my soul. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
So to recharge the battery. So I think I'm going to go watch that. It's been a minute since the Guinea Google.
Do it.
Do y'all watch Gold Rush?
No.
And there's the fire in the ambulance truck. And I can't make this shit up.
So Jesse and I, we watch Gold Rush. That's our guilty pleasure in Gold Mine Rescue because I love Freddie and Juan. Yeah. And I love Parker Schnabel. So there's this one guy though. Oh, Abby's convinced us who she's going to marry. Once she found out that Mustafa was married off of Ghost Hunters, she was done. She did her interview with him. And he's like, oh, my kids are your age. And she's like, yeah, no, we're done.
Yep.
She's like, he's married, Mom. So she moved on to Parker Schnabel. Hey, I'm not going to tell her no. He owns one of the largest gold mines in Alaska. I mean, go for it. Set your goals up there.
Exactly.
Her next is Barron. So, I mean, she's got some pretty seriously, high goals. So, anyways, one of the guys on there looks like Harry and the Henderson after he got his teeth done. Like
really?
Harry. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He smiled. And Jesse and I looked at him. We're like, where the hell do we know him from? Who does he look like? And all of a sudden up on Facebook, somebody posted it and I just died. I was like, that's who. Harry from Harry and the Hendersons. So the kids watched the movie and they're like, Mom, he looks so much like him.
See?
Yeah, see?
All right. Tonight's topic, though.
Yes. Yes. We got sidetracked.
And look at, like, I got like all depth and like knowledgeable and like brainiac. It's like I said before last week, and I said to you both before, it's like the cobwebs and the fingers are out of my brain. So it's like it actually works now, which is kind of weird. And I was like, you know what's a good thing? And I'm like, we should just probably do it. And that's like childhood fears. Trauma. And it's not, you know what I mean? And it can go both ways. It can, you know what I mean? It could be the norm, meaning, afraid of clowns, afraid of the dark, afraid of, I don't know, spiders, but it also can be,
crickets that are centipedes.
I mean, that could be anything, and it could also be, of course, I twist it on the head because like I do everything. You could be, have fear of the metaphysical, especially when you're a kid and you're seeing shit and you're hearing shit and you're going, what is going on? And nobody around you is hearing it, seeing it, feeling it, smelling it, tasting it. Yes, people, you can smell, you can taste.
Oh yeah.
There are many clairs. It'll blow your mind if you really think about it. And sometimes people have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and it's just depending upon what's going to work.
Yeah.
For their best interest in that situation. So,
hey Scott, how you doing? Good to see you, brother.
That's I grew up seeing, smelling, hearing, feeling, and I could taste. It just depended, like you said, what comes through.
Yep.
I didn't necessarily grow up with a fear of it, which I'm grateful. Even though my grandmother, because she's the one that figured it out, my grandmother was like, you're talking to your great grandmother. And she like picked me up and she like walked me the 18 steps over there, sat me down on her bed. And she goes, now you tell her what's going on and who you're having tea with. And I was like, oh, am I in trouble? And but once I told my great grandmother, oh, I'm having tea with Auntie May. She's like, oh, what is she wearing? I'm like, she's wearing these boots that go all the way up and she's got a green gown on. She's got this really big hat. She said something about St. Patty's Day. And it was St. Patrick's Day. And I was having tea with my aunt. And she was in her St. Patty's Day best. Because yes, people, we used to get dressed up for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a fear of the dark. I know I've never really much gone into my experiences, but we lived out in the country, and the moment that I stepped foot on the property, I had fear.
Hey, Della, how you doing?
And I couldn't understand it, and this is going to be a little bit hard to explain or believe if you've never been through something like this. But I'd hear chants. And I'd get this uneasy feeling. I would smell burning stuff and I'd get this uneasy feeling. And one night I remember hitting over and over and over again that light switch to turn on. And it never turned the power on. To the point I hit it and I broke the paper wall in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
And then about 3 nights later, I was picked up out of my bed and I was thrown into a bookshelf full of stuff. So like I had fear, that type of fear. It's really hard to explain, but I had a fear of what was going to happen to me when I heard that chanting. And then that brought the fear of the dark in. The fear of the closet.
That makes total sense.
Abby has fears of the dark.
Well, it's kind of a natural fear. It's kind of born into us from the ancient past. I mean, we were wild creatures, and there were other bigger wild creatures that hunted in the dark. And so you'd get kind of scared because you didn't want to get eaten in the dark. So it's an inbred fear.
You said inbred, and all I could see was my face inbred.
Or the cat with with the whole inbred cat. Yeah.
Well, and I was going to bring that up. That's like those guys. What was that tiger that killed like 47 men? They made a movie about it. Oh man.
Vaguely about that. I mean, once they get a taste for that,
that's
easy target for a tiger. Just saying.
I mean, to go off onto what you're saying, Keith, with it's inbred on our bodies. You have to remember, our blood is it's life. It's right. So and I'm one of those that, and this is like starting to be a real thing because it's kind of weird because this showed up on my Facebook feed. This is weird. Because I have Irish ancestry, and they have discovered a certain blood type in the Irish blood ancestry, which my mother has,
Really?
which is O.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, that's what it is. So, and they've discovered, because hello, medical advances have happened. A lot of things are in this ancient bloodline, and they're saying, and only certain families have this, this genetic marker, this genetic makeup, and you have to kind of like remember, because I'm one of those that I kind of say the past generation, if there was a fear that was instilled, it changed their DNA. So what happens when you're a mother and you are carrying life, DNA is exploding, you know what I mean, as you're being knitted in your mother's womb, and you're also getting your father's. So it's like, it's all this comes down. So like, like one of my things is I'm not afraid of water, and I have no idea where this came from. So that's where it's like I have to look backwards to find this out. My biggest thing, and I'm going to be controversial. Am I a part-time prepper? Absolutely. My biggest thing, like when 2020 hit and I looked at Kelly and I said, I don't care what it is. I need water in this house. I am afraid to not drown, to actually not the ability to have any water and die from dehydration. Where that came from
could be past life.
That's funny you say that, because I have Irish roots, and I'm pretty sure the bloodline with you and I is kind of similar. Yep. When I went without water, it confirmed all my fears, because I went 6 months without running water in the house. And it literally, like, I was like, oh my God, I don't have water. I'm going to die. Like, what? I need water. I need water. So when I moved in here and I had running water, and say a water main busted, or like we had a problem with the previous owner owing the company $5, and it kept shutting off my water, even though we paid our bill.
Yeah.
Jesse would hear that fear, and he'd get it fixed right then and there, because he knew that I'd go into a severe panic attack, lay down on the floor, and start hyperventilating. I just don't like, what is that?
Yeah. What is that? Like,
where did that come from?
Exactly. That's why I say, like, there's the normal fears, then there's fears that you develop metaphysically, and then there's fears that, genetic markers.
Genetic markers.
You know what I mean? In your bloodline, in your ancestry, did somebody
well, and that's
Neanderthal age. Is it something somewhere that way? Because you have to, and then it's like those people that are always caught, and I'm one of them. I know that, and it's hard to break. But when you're in that fear, that fight and flight, and the people that are like, I like to say, like, I'm permanently stuck, and I try my hardest to get out of this. I can't ever get out of it. I am constantly, my head is on a freaking swivel. I'm worried about the next thing, this person, that person, my son, my family, you guys, this, and it's like, I can't stop. Right. And I've tried medically, psychologically, thinking that I'm nuts. Okay. Drugs. I've done everything, and I still can't jump my body out of it, which isn't healthy for you either.
Right. You're stuck in that adrenaline. Your body doesn't know how to bring down that adrenaline. And I completely get that. Yeah. And that's why I'm non-confrontational anymore.
Yeah.
Because I start to get confrontational, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't breathe. I can't think. I start sweating. Yep, Keith, I get that.
The fight or flight hits me. I am Scorpio, Aries, Sag. So the Scorpio and the Aries hit, which is attack mode. Okay. Physically, verbally, but then my TBI gets triggered. and I can't function. I cannot think of words. I cannot think of what to do in the situation.
It's like you're in a food processor.
Yes.
Mhm.
And it's very difficult to deal with. But I'm learning to be able to practice the pause and bring myself back out of it. But my biggest fear, and I didn't figure this out till a few years ago, but it was from when I was 6 years old, and it was from a paranormal experience
Mm-hmm.
that my mom could not see. She walked right through what was trying to get me. And I'm hiding under my blanket in the dark saying, I don't want to be alone, because she just told me to go back to sleep and went back to bed.
Mm-hmm.
While this thing is still trying to get me, I'm under the covers and I can hear it. I can hear the bricks from the chimney it came through moving, even though the chimney was there in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I just said, I don't want to be alone. And I heard this voice said, you don't have to be. And I said, okay. And that was it. I done did the deal. And I didn't get out of that deal till what, seven years ago?
Yeah, about 7, 8. Yeah.
So I don't like to be in the dark. I can handle being in the dark. I know what I can deal with metaphysically.
Mm-hmm.
I know I can tell it off. I can take it out. I can do whatever I need to do. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is not being able to see where I'm going and falling over an engine block. That happened on a paranormal investigation. I'm sitting here backing up, and there was an engine block in this shop that we were investigating, and I fell over. Now, if there was another engine block or something on the other side and I'd have cracked my head open, So it's personal safety on why I don't like the dark. So I'll just plans. Fuck off. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I've always got some kind of emotional support background noise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not off of that yet. And that stems from childhood, from being able to hear things that I could not see. So radio's on, TV's on, fans on, something's on. Something is on all the time. Even when I'm awake, something is on. I got the radio playing, I got the TV playing, I got the fan going, I got something going.
Same.
And part of that is also, if I don't have any of that, then my mind really starts going. Can't concentrate, and the thoughts, those old intrusive thoughts, try to creep back in. It's like, no.
Yeah. I know a couple of individuals that do that, and one of them is Adrian, to the point where I had to go with her to a Family Dollar to go buy a fan because she couldn't sleep without it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I am
great.
Same. I was never that way. Never, until Kelly and I moved in with each other. Because Kelly needs the fan. Like, he needs it. Like, he needs it. He needs it. And then I'm the opposite. Like, I used to, like, same thing. Afraid of the dark. But, like, in my way, metaphysical, like with Keith, seeing shit, nobody else believing me that I was chased out of our family basement by something that I thought was a friend, a playmate, a cousin, family, whatever at that time, right? And I used to have the TV on. Also, too, because I also had somebody say, oh, well, you've got to be, well, if you see things, you've got to be careful because they hide under your bed and they'll take their creepy little claws and they'll grab your feet and they'll pull you down into hell.
Nothing hangs off the edge of the bed.
Yep.
Not my arm, not my foot, nada, nothing.
Yeah. God, no. No, well, I had the fear of something reaching over and grabbing me and pulling me underneath the bed. I did. That was a huge fear. On the other hand, I can't sleep with a light. I can't sleep with noise. I really can't. I go crazy. I'm like, no, I need my meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am okay with silence. I'm okay with certain things, and it's funny.
Sometimes I can be. Sometimes.
Well, for me, it's the opposite. Like if I have the noise, for some reason, I can hear them better.
Really?
Yes, I am.
I sleep with this. These are headphones.
Okay.
That I connect to my phone because to kind of like block some things out. Because I mean, I will have to have the TV on, and then like and it's not even like TV. I mean, literally, like what it is. It's like it's just the Roku screensaver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not, or if Kelly falls asleep to something, then like I turn it off. But if I have, it's weird. It's like if I have this on, it's like my safety power belt, like it all goes away.
My teddy bear, my baby blanket.
So
no, I'm
also have a teddy bear that I've had that since the day I was born. I mean, he's next to my bed, Teddy, but
yeah,
you know, but
I had one that you pulled the string. Only you can prevent forest fires, and I'm still trying to figure out why I'm the only person that can.
And now, no offense. So you had Smokey the Bear.
Yeah. And then my house burned down.
What happened in your house? What happened on the land?
Yeah.
God, Lord.
I never made that connection before right now.
Do you know where Smokey Bear is from?
No.
Here in New Mexico.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yep. He was pulled out of the forest.
You're gonna let. Well, this is not. I mean, because hello, and it happens. So, my mother's like on this weird quest for Jacoby to like get all these different Eagle merit badges because I have something in my mind that I want to make up for him. So like we're on this quest of getting everything. So I looked at my mother because my mother collects salt and pepper shakers. So I go, are there any Boy Scout salt and pepper shakers? Because we got these little cake sitters from the 50s. Mm-hmm. They're Boy Scouts from the 50s. So I was like, oh. And up comes here. I go, Mom, I've never seen these. If you have, and they're Smokey the Bear salt and pepper shakers. And I bought them, and I didn't know why I needed to buy. Look at that. See, people, things happen for a reason. Don't not believe the metaphysical shit doesn't happen because it does.
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. You may be crazy at that point, but you think you are. But then you come back, and it goes, oh, I'm not nuts. So,
and you may not know the reason why it happened until 6 months from now.
Mm-hmm. 6 months, 6 days, 6 years, 6 whatever.
This happened, and it may be detrimental to you on the day it happened, but that will start a journey to where you plateau and something is handed to you from spirit. Mm-hmm. You get that at a boy or at a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Here's this.
Yep.
Then you'll figure it out.
Have you met Yessie?
Yes, I have met Yessie.
He's definitely my reward. No, Chris and I talk about this, and I'm sure she doesn't care that I say it, but Chris and I talk about it. You know, when we've been through so many traumatic things, the body keeps the score, and sometimes we shut down emotionally, sometimes we shut down physically. You know, so we're digging through her past, and we're trying to figure out what that trigger was for her to literally just turn off all those emotions, just turn everything off to the point where she's now 40 some years old, right? And she's just shut down.
Yeah.
And it's hard because I had to go through and I had to do that. Like, what was my emotional shutdown? What was it about me that caused this fear of XYZ? And then and as I got older, I looked at it, is it genetic? Okay. So I had a fear of losing my children. Okay. I had a deep rooted fear of losing my children to the point where I know this sounds weird. I'm sure somebody out there will understand it. I had to go through all of the ways that my kids could pass away and be okay with it. Like I had to practice being okay with it.
Process it.
Process it, right? Like process what would I do if I lost Nate? What would I do if I lost Dylan? What would I do if I, lost Avelina, Derek, Pat? And I did lose Pat. What would I do if I lost a pregnancy, which I did twice, and not just miscarriage. We're talking stillborn. So I don't know, like I had to look at like my grandmother. What did my grandmother go through? My grandmother lost her second child at 3 due to spinal meningitis.
Mm-hmm.
That changed her what? Her DNA.
Yep.
And that passed down to me. I don't know if Therese ever had those fears because she was never emotionally attached as a mother. The only time I really saw a response out of her is when she actually had to sit down and write my obituary for every 15 minutes, somebody do the every 15-minute program. And I was part of that. So she had to sit down and write my obituary. And when it came over the loudspeaker, I was one of the first to be called out. It slammed her like, holy crap, this could be my child. And then she turned it off and like, it never happened. So I don't know, for me, like genetic wise and the change in DNA, I often wonder, like, did my grandmother have those fears? Is this something that was
handed down?
Yeah, family bound, so like the fear of suicide is high in my family because that's something that's high in my family. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know that until I was an adult. And when I found that out, I'm like, okay, no wonder I fear this. And then I had to live my worst nightmare. And I survived. And I did it, like I've discussed on the show before, I did it while I was pregnant with Abby. And the whole entire time I'm going, I can't break down. I am carrying life. This is traumatic. This is hard. And I'm sure everybody thought that I was absolutely crazy because of the way that I responded. I was I had my moments. Please don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I couldn't let it consume me because I was carrying a life. And not only was I carrying a life, I was carrying a girl.
Yeah.
Or,
letting yourself break down all the time, dealing with it could have affected her health due to the stress and anxiety and everything else. And that affects us anyway. And what? And
change her DNA.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I wanted to break that generational, and that's been huge for me. Even though I went through it, I don't want to see my kids go through it. So we're open, we're honest, we talk about it, and I'm going to get to Scott because Scott said it. I have to go see a therapist at the VA for my disassociation and PTSD, and that is huge. That is huge with our vets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and you have to remember that too, as you're talking about your generational line, you have to remember all those men, because you have to remember there are, your family tree, you have your root, and then you have your branches. You have to remember there are other people associated with your family through marriage, and then offspring come. You have to remember, and that's why I say a lot of, and that's what I this is what I just say. And my grandfather used to go, well, it's because we're crazy. No, I think my gifts came from his mother's line while I've gone. And guess what? Civil War, Revolutionary War, American Spanish War, World War I, World War II, Korea, there's Vietnam vets. There's all that shit changes you too. And they come home with it. And men are like, what are they supposed to be? Especially back in that time period. Man of the house, they've got to be strong. They can't cry. They can't do this. They can't that. They can't break down. They've got to be the provider, the father, the husband. They've got to be the automatic. They've got to be everything. And that gets passed down through both sides.
Yeah.
And then we turn around and we look at what did that cause? Mm-hmm. That caused abuse, that caused alcoholism, that called, because those men didn't have anybody to turn to. That's why things like the BFW, the Legion, and all of them. And that's why you had to have certain criteria to join those, right? Is because those men needed a place where they could go. You're not going to go. Okay, being a military wife and being a military daughter, I understand the do's and the don'ts, right? I understand that you don't ask certain questions. You don't do this. You don't do that. You know, there's a list of rules that we accept about our partner.
Mhm.
If our partner wants to talk to us about it,
They'll talk.
let them talk. Right. And if they want to expand on it, or if, you know, they're comfortable with you asking questions, but the last thing they want to do is to be judged by civilians.
Yep.
You know, civilians don't understand because their ass didn't write a check that they were going to cash with their own life. Right.
Yes.
So, you know, I learned from my dad the do's and the don'ts. I learned from my grandfather the do's and the don'ts. And talk about changing DNA. I mean, I was so used to a man not being around that to have a man around, I was like, oh, that's my job. No, that's my job. What are you doing? Like, why are you doing the dishes? Why are you doing this? You know, because I'm programmed to be the queen of my domain.
In
the house.
I was programmed to be a loner. Really didn't have much of a dad. I had a dad, but mom and dad divorced, wasn't around much. He was a heavy drinker, et cetera, et cetera. But I've learned a lot about his life growing up. He learned from his parents. His father was a very chronic alcoholic, very abusive person, mentally, verbally. His mother was put into an institution because she was schizophrenic. She wasn't. She just had gifts, but they didn't know that back then. So he was kind of, from the start, they didn't have the tools that we have now to heal from that. Mom, you know, me growing up, I never saw her with anybody. I didn't have a male figure around to learn how to be a proper father, a proper husband, boyfriend, person, male. So I had to learn all that on my own after I got that thing out of me. And I'm still learning every damn day. I'm still learning, and I'm thankful for that. But you know, what we go through in our childhood, we may not even realize that we've been through it because that memory got put in that one locked file cabinet way in the back, covered in cobwebs, and we can't find it. But something happens and it lights a match and those cobwebs burn away, and then all of a sudden that file drawer kicks open, that door kicks open, and Pluto or Mercury says, "Here, we're going to deal with this today." And you're like, what? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
So memories are a thing, whether they're there or they're not. And then when they just explode in front of your face, you got to figure out if that's a real memory or if it was planted, if it's made up. When I got that thing yanked out of me, I lost 3/4 of my life in my memories.
I mean,
I'm gradually getting them back, but that was traumatic in itself. You know, I can't remember my kids getting born. I do now, but you know, I remember my mother-in-law bringing in McDonald's and plopping it on the table for me and her, and my wife at the time couldn't have any because she's having a baby, and she was.
Yeah. That's like when you're talking about the cobwebs and the file cabinet. In my case, I had people put shit behind doors because I come from that childhood. I come from that childhood where, like, things were going on at home. I was exhibiting things. And of course, the big thing that I remember, and everybody laughs when I say this because they go, "Well, how did that happen?" I stopped talking.
Yeah.
Okay. After that said incident, and my whole life fell apart. Like right after that incident, my parents get divorced. So like my whole life, my norm totally changed. So
Yeah.
I just stopped talking, but if somebody talked to me, I knew like I had to answer them, but it was one word answers. It was like, are you hungry? Yes.
To this day.
Right. Somebody would pass me, thank you. But it was nothing of substance and value. So therefore, all right, something's wrong. We've got to go to a head shrink. And I'm from the time period where those people fucked with people, either because they wanted their jollies and wanted more customers later down, or it came to me, an epiphany came to me the other day because we were talking about that. I think I was getting groomed to be trafficked.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I really, really do, because things were popping up, and I was talking with one of my friends, and she goes, Renee, that sounds like you were being trafficked or about to. Like they were pulling things, and they're like, yeah, you need to put this here, and you need to, there's this red door, and you need to put this, and this behind the red door, and you need to forget about that, even though that's you, and that's your personality, that's your likes, your wants, your things that you're into, things that you do, TV shows that you watch, and here's this door. This can never come out because we can't deal with that right now. We have to deal with the fact of you're not talking.
It's interesting that you say that, coming from my background.
Mm-hmm.
I completely get that. I completely get that. The things that I was told that was going to happen, and that was, I mean, you were there with my breakdown. Like, holy crap, guys! Like, are you kidding me? She was going to do what, and I was going to go where, and now this is what we're finding out. Like, this is some heavy shit, right? So I get that. Like the realization of it just slamming you in the face like that. It's like, holy crap. And then the only thing I could do was hit my knees and say, thank you, God.
Yeah. And the person who I was becoming before I got my help probably would have, if I had an opportunity, would have taken advantage of a trafficked person situation in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is very interesting that us three are sitting here now having this epiphany.
I mean, it literally came to me the other day because another video came up on my Facebook.
Yeah.
And I used to joke around with it, like things, because some people, they remember getting pulled for special ed, or they remember getting pulled for because they were gifted.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I remember being and joking around and saying, oh, because you're just gate kids. And I used to think automatically back in the day, I was like, oh, it's because we were latch door key kids. So we were gate kids.
Yeah.
And then literally I was sitting there going, I don't remember ever, like, I'm like, how am I getting pulled for this and this and this? Because I'm like, I'd go home and I'm reading Lord of the Rings in 3rd grade.
That was,
what I mean? Or and I really remember this because I really remember going to the library because I literally almost got suspended over a book because somebody wanted to read the Odyssey in 4th grade. And it was somebody, I was fighting with somebody because I wanted the book, they wanted the book, the Odyssey in 4th grade, and be able to understand what all that theme and everything behind the Odyssey was. So I'm like, how am I getting pulled for special ed? Like, I'm stupid. Like, how am I getting pulled for that? And I don't remember. I remember going into a room, and that was it. I don't remember anything else.
That's interesting you say that, because that's exactly what I was going to say. I was just talking to Keith, and Keith will tell you this too. was just like the only like kids books that I really enjoyed were Berenstain Bears. I had all of the Babysitter Clothes books read by the time that I was in second grade, right? Like the Boxcar Kids, the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew. All of that shit I had already read. And by the time I was in third, fourth grade,
I read all that.
Yeah. By the time I was in third, fourth grade, all that stuff. Dean Koontz. I'm reading Stephen King. I'm reading, all these big books that I shouldn't understand. And I'd get pulled from class. And you know what? Now that you mention it, I don't remember anything that we did in that fucking class. I don't. That is so fucked up, Renee. I don't remember doing
and here's the thing. And if I was if it was so special ed, right? So you go have elementary school, like here, I don't know how it is with you guys, but here then it was like you go through K through 5, and then you have middle school, which is 6 through 8, and then you have high school 9 through 12. 6th grade, I can tell you, if I was so special ed, I didn't get pulled in 6th grade.
Neither did I.
Right?
I got told that I was a liar and I didn't read the books.
Exactly. But then I remember changing schools in middle school and getting pulled there at a different school. All of a sudden, I went from nothing. I changed the school because the principal kicks me out in 7th grade.
Oh my God, are you serious?
No, kicks me out, right? Or sorry, lets me finish 7th grade, kicks me out in 8th grade, the first 4 days of school.
Did you go to an alternative?
No, I went to the other middle school in town. But there I was getting pulled because I needed, again, help with writing. I needed help with reading.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
That's so fucked up, Renee, because I got kicked out of middle school at the last day of school. I got kicked out of middle school, and then I went to an alternative school. Are you've got to be?
No, I'm not. And then going to high school, that's where I remember there being signed up for actual special education, getting pulled for math, but I got pulled for reading, and they're like, why are you here? Like, you can read War and Peace and tell us what War and Peace is all about. Like literally, like, I read Animal Farm. I can tell you what Animal Farm's all about and what everything, like what the metaphors are. And I can tell you the allegories. I can tell, so it was all that. And then it was, that's where I remember going, I really do need help with math all of a sudden. Right. And then it was, here's the end of the year test. Oh, you test it out, but you can stay if you want, but you don't have to stay. But if you'd like to stay, you can. And then I was gone. So like, that's like, when I saw that reel, it was like, oh my God.
I tested out
being hypnotized. Somehow I had to have been being hypnotized for whatever the GATE program was, or MAPS, or whatever.
This triggers something in here. You mentioned the Berenstain Bears. Berenstain Bears.
S-T-E.
Not Berenstein, Berenstain. Okay. That effect.
Mandela.
Thank you. Do you remember, I'm a little bit older than you, so something in grade school called SRI. It was, you had a card catalog, kind of like you had in the library, but it was, you had to read for so many minutes a day or a week, and you'd write down what book. Okay. I Google searched the other day. I could not find anything on that program even existing.
Really? Because you got pizza every Friday, or you could earn your Pizza Hut, and you could earn this. And
yes.
You could earn that. Yes. Yep. I remember because I always had my card filled out. Like I always, but Renee, hold on. That's so fucked up, because you know what? When I got to high school, I tested out from freshman to senior from like the lowest of classes to your advanced classes. I tested out of every single extra credit class. I was published 3 times. Like, oh my God, seriously.
And now you're talking. So nothing against who I work for. I think that's hilarious because you're talking about that reading program. Would you like to know what we do at our school? A calendar goes home every day or for every month, and we're saying, can you please read 20 minutes a day?
And that's cool.
Which is cool. But now that makes me go, what are they doing with that?
But what happened to the
what are they tracking? What are they tracking? Because they're tracking the people.
What happened to that actual SRI program? I think that's what it's called. Actually, I know that's what it's called. What happened to it? Because I could not find anything. I dug for probably an hour, and I couldn't find anything on it.
I wonder what it merged with.
I don't know.
Well, see, and I don't remember. I knew exactly what you were talking about. I can't remember what it was called because I remember I'm only 43.
Yeah, and I'm 48. So I mean,
56.
I mean, so. But still, like I remember you read and you had to track things and they tracked things and they wrote it down in this notebook and then and you were like me, like we were called in our group. Like it was a group and but my group, I remember my group, other kids from other classes were coming into my room, like in second grade and so like, here's me, Betty, Johnny from our room, and here comes Jennifer. Jennifer's coming in, but Pablo is leaving and going to cross the hall to the other second grade classroom. So like my group had different people than everybody else. And I used to go, oh, are we just dumb? Like I remember going and I'm reading, and that was the thing. Like I remember these books and going, the sun. And I'm reading it. The sun is red. And I'm like, I've already read the page. Can I just tell you what I need to read? And I remember that. So I don't know what they were doing.
Mary Jane's comment here. She was in that program too, held back even though she finished all of them early because her teacher's daughter was in the class and she was ahead of her. She refused to let her go to the advanced. She was reading German classics in second grade. It's
but I was horrible at math. But what I've come to figure out is I wasn't horrible at math. I was normal in math. But yeah, I was pulled out to go to a special math class to learn touch point. That's the only thing I remember.
We all have our gifts. So with some people, it's mathematics. With some people, it's reading. With some people, it's the paranormal. I mean, you take a child with ADHD. They may have it so bad that they can't speak. They can't have a conversation. But they can pick up a musical instrument and just start playing it without any experience whatsoever. It is amazing. I came into this world with mechanical ability. Where did I get it? Probably a past life. I don't know. But it stems back to our childhood. In order to get through our childhood to understand everything, we got to do shadow work.
Yep.
And shadow work's a bitch. I'm just going to say it. It's a bitch.
Well, I mean,
but it's a friend.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you're afraid of think about it. A lot of us have what? Shadow work. Where do you do that?
In the dark.
In the dark.
And see, I don't like being in the dark, but yet I've got my Scorpio cave here where I sit in the dark, in my mind.
Yeah.
And that's where I find my light.
Because you always have that. You have to. Because like this is something that I remember, and I'm going to say that Steve from the mechanic said, okay? You're always, yes, you do your shadow work in the dark and you have the dark, and some people process the dark better than that. Some people, that's their thing. Like dark is their thing. Dark is their thing. Gray is their thing. Light is their thing. Sometimes people can do all three.
Yeah.
Right. So But in order to have that balance, you're never always ever in the dark because you have that little pinhole. So there's always some form of light or yin yang. There's always good and evil, and there's always evil and good. There, you have to, because it's not going to work out.
It's a balance. If we didn't have shitty days, we wouldn't appreciate the good days.
Mm-hmm.
If we didn't have the good days, we wouldn't learn how to process the shitty days so that we can get back to our better day. We got to train our minds. We got to train our hearts. We have to train our souls because our souls are still learning. We came back here to learn, and I signed up for way too many fucking subjects. I'm just saying.
So Mary Jane just made a comment, and that's something I have to say. In my childhood, being invisible in the dark was survival.
Yes.
And I understand that because I was just about ready to touch on that. For me, being in the dark was my survival. I needed to hide. I needed to be invisible. I really did, or I was going to get the crap beat out of me. So like,
sorry.
It's okay. So for me, we went on an investigation, and I'm not gonna say where because I'm gonna reveal some things. And you have steps in this place to advance, right? And my team goes, "What is this?" And I said, "Oh, it's the dark room." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Go sit in there and go look at yourself in the mirror in the dark." And they were like, "Oh,
that is a technique."
No. Yeah. They're like, "I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that."
Well, what are you afraid of looking and seeing in your own reflection?
Right. Here I am. I'm like, "Let me show you how it's done." Sat down, fucking pulled the curtain. And my other half was like, "Oh my God, you're crazy." And I'm like, "No, because there's and it's part of shadow work. It's part of facing yourself. It's part of really sitting there and seeing yourself for who you are, right?"
And here's that thing, truly are, because right when you do that shadow work, you rip down, and here I'm going to say it again, Brian from the Spirit Mechanics, you're going to break down that I am programming. You have to rip that completely out of your system into your core because you need to see the real, true Keith, the real truth Jan, and the real Renee.
You know what I said to myself when I finally got off the couch and I came up and looked in my mirror at myself? I had the light on, but I looked into myself, into the dark. I just said, "You stupid mother, you're an asshole. Let's figure out why."
Yeah.
And 7 years later, I'm still learning.
I had to look at myself in the mirror, and I might get a little emotional.
Yeah.
Before everything, and I had to look at myself and go, "Janice, you're a fucking liar." Because I lied. "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm doing great. Like, let's go. Like, I'm okay. Like, let's do
fine.
I'm fine. Like, my marriage is great. I'm happy. Nothing's gonna, do this. I just, you're a fucking liar, Janice. You're fucking lying through your teeth every day. But yet you sit down and say that you don't lie, but you tell the biggest lies all the time when you sit down and try to convince somebody else that everything's okay."
Yep.
And they know it's not, and you know it's not, but what's coming out of my face? That was the hardest thing I ever had to do.
I won't lie anymore about how I'm doing.
I lie all the time, every day.
If either you two reaches out to me, if the almighty sound effects lady reaches out to me, says, "Hey, Spirit told me to check on you,"
or
I will either
I get a song and then I know that something's wrong.
I will either hit that video call button and I will talk for hours, or I'm good or I'm fine, which means I'm, or I'm okay. I'm dealing. I'm just not ready to talk about it yet. But one is you don't need to worry, and the other is, yeah, I'm in my cave in the dark, and I ain't ready to talk about anything yet, but I'm going to get it figured out because I always do. So
But that's the difference with me. When I get that with you, I hit that video call and go, I'm here. So if you want to talk it so you can hear your own voice.
See, you two
Here's
are,
your cigarette. Here.
You two are just like Michelle Barone. Spirit will say, check on her. And so I'll check on her. And she will turn that around to check on me every damn time. She's a life coach. She's an awesome individual.
I thought you were
got to go down to Florida to help her. She was on the Dead Files, and Spirit Mechanics invited me to go with them. And I got to help her regain their family's lives, and I'm so grateful for that. Very, very good individual, very good friend. But she will get you to talk when you're trying to help.
Oh, does she ever?
She is awesome at that. I'm proud of her for that.
Oh, I'm proud of her for that too. I am.
So the other night I had this weird feeling, and like Spirit told me, you need to get a hold of Keith. You need to get a hold of Keith. I get a hold of him, and he's telling me about this storm that's going on, and all of a sudden lightning hits, and he's like,
the storm over the house.
Smoke? Is that smoke? And he was like, what the hell? And he's looking out the door, and he's like, something's on fire. Something's on fire. And turn around, his neighbor had a burn barrel going, right?
Yeah, and I just saw one hell of a lightning bolt out the window, like on my block. Okay. So I'm thinking my neighbor's house is on fire.
So what did that trigger in you?
My house fire smelling that smoke.
Right. And he's like, I'm going to call you back. I'm going to check. I'm going to go check.
I knew what I went through, so I had to go check on my neighbor. If that house is on fire, I probably would have went in and tried to pull him out. It turned out it was a burn barrel.
But that, and I sat down, and you're like, if for a second you can realize why you reacted the way that you did.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, what the fuck? Something ain't right. I know something ain't right. Well, it turns out it wasn't right with me. Everything was okay down there, but it wasn't right with me. And it took, I used to do fireside chats, lives on Facebook, where I just talk. I just call it just talking. And I tell some of my stories and how I learned. I try to help people. And sometimes I just try to make people laugh. And after the fire, I couldn't do that for a long time. I got back in this home one day before the year anniversary of the fire. And all I had was a flat floor on the first floor. That's all I had.
I still have that picture you sent. I'm home.
I was in a sleeping bag on that floor, and then I graduated to a blow-up bed on that floor, and now I'm upstairs in my office on the second floor. But shortly after I got back in here, I was able to go out back and sit down and face that fear of fire. And now it's my friend. I use it in my practice. I use it to release things from my life. I use it to bring things into my life. But it was a journey, and I had to sit down in the dark and do the shadow work. You know what? This fire is in your fire pit. It is contained. It is helping you help yourself. It is not scary anymore. But just the smell, just the sight.
Yep.
Boom.
I mean, I get it. I was in a house fire. I had to be rescued. My windows were nailed shut from my landlord. I couldn't. I had to bust out windows. I couldn't leave. My doorknob was hot. There was no way for me anywhere to go. I thought for sure as shit I was gonna die in that apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, here comes this, and I even said this angel firefighter scooped me up, threw me over his shoulder, and dragged me down 3 flights of stairs and said, "Go, get out." That smoke to this day, like somebody, like just anything, especially. And I go out with the boys on campouts. So when we have fire, like I am like, is it out? Is it out? Is it out? Is it out? I'm going and dumping water over it 15 times, and they're going, "Ray, you're crazy." I go, "No, is it out?" Because that's all.
Stir, shake, add dirt, add water. I'm the same way.
If the wind's blowing, I'll get the hose out and I'll put it out.
Yep.
If it's not, if it's nice, calm night, I make sure there's nothing flammable around the fire pit. But I'll just let it calm down until it's just a pile of coals.
Yep.
Then I'll come inside because I know that's going to go out. I have that.
The longest time though.
No, I can't.
I'll get that smell. Like I'll be in my house, and because you have to remember, like I said before, people have clears, so people smell things.
Yep.
You taste things, you hear things, you see things, you feel things, you can touch things, whatever. So like, I'll get those what they call those phantoms. Phantom smells, and I will get that, and I just go, okay, is that someone trying to reach me? Meaning like spirit, an entity? Is it a guide? Is it some, because I deal with a lot of dark things.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're with a lot of brimstone and fire. So, and I'm a bookend fire sign. So when I get that, like literally, like I will panic for a moment and go, I'm not in that house. I'm safe.
Well, and some of those signals that come through like that, those tastes, those smells, those feelings, come from our childhood. Mm-hmm. And for a long time, I couldn't figure out why it kept smelling like chocolate chip cookies in here after the fire. Grandma. I couldn't figure out why it smelled like cherry tobacco instead of house fire. Grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go through the process of learning and then remembering from my childhood stuff that I had forgotten.
Yeah.
It's a process. So we really need to look at our childhood and allow our childhood to come back to, allow our little kid,
and that's
come back up, and we need to tell that little kid, hey, you know what? We're okay. It's safe now.
Well, and we usually end up becoming, like, this is how I have stated to my little Renee pigtails, and I've always said, I go, I am now the person that you needed then.
Mm-hmm.
That is perfect.
I become the person that you needed then.
I got you.
And I have you. So, and I've done that work where it's been a soul shard that nobody's done it. It's come back on its own for whatever reason, maybe present from spirit. Cause I don't know. I did so many good deeds that day, or I did something and it's like, hey, like you deserve something in reward for this. And I did. And I sat on that little step with that little freaking 5-year-old little girl. And I said, I am what you needed. Yeah. And I'm sorry that nobody could see that and nobody could do that for you. But I'm here now because I have you.
And I'm sorry it took so long.
Exactly. I'm sorry it took so long, but now I'm here. And you have nothing to worry about anymore. That little version of Renee that was stuck at 22 Howard Avenue isn't there anymore.
There you go. I still got one soul shard trying to come back in. And I don't know what it's going to do.
Oh, boy.
Notice how I'm hugging myself and I'm rocking.
Mm-hmm.
That's because of my past experiences when the soul shards came back in.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one, I did a ritual to bring it back on Halloween night.
Okay.
And I woke up the next day thinking I went out and got hammered and ended up in the wrong house in the wrong bed. And I'm wondering how in the hell am I going to get out of here without getting caught?
Mm-hmm.
thinking I was still married to my first ex-wife, wondering where my kids were. And no, I woke up in my bed in my house, and it took about 3 days to process that, I didn't work at Champion Auto anymore. I worked at Napa, and I wasn't married to that person anymore, and my kids were fine. But it was a process, and it took a long time to process that. I'd say probably about a year. But doing that gave me a lot of my memories back. And then the next one, and the next one, and I got at least one more. And if you don't know what a soul shard is, you hit a traumatic experience. It can be a house fire, it can be a car accident, it can be something to where your soul just goes, "What the fuck? I'm out." And part of it goes, "Can't do this. I'm gone." Okay, everything that you have been up to that time, that soul shard just took a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the meantime, you're sitting here doing your shadow work, healing, releasing stuff to make more room, better things to come back in. And then this soul shard comes back, kicks in the door and says, "What's up, mother?" Well, guess what? It's got everything still in it that you have healed from, and it doesn't understand why you're different, why you feel different. And so you have to reprocess everything again. And in my case, part of that entity shot off in those soul shards. So I've gotten 3 parts of that entity back, and I still got one more coming. But I said, you know what? That's okay. That is okay. Because I am strong enough. I know enough now. I have learned enough, thanks to the mechanics and a lot of other people who have helped me learn about the paranormal and how to heal. That's okay. I'm going to make that my bitch. I was its bitch. Now it's going to be my bitch. Jars are wonderful things. Just saying. So is graveyard dirt.
So is brick dirt.
Oh, red brick dust. Gotta love red brick dust. I need to make some more.
So is crossing powder. And so is crossroad dirt. Just saying.
We learn as we go.
Mm-hmm.
But we only do things in order to help us or protect others or help others. We don't do anything out of vengeance. If we do, we're going to get our ass kicked.
No, because no offense, I don't want to die again. I've already died 3 times. I don't need to do it again. I don't need to do the journey again. I don't need it.
No.
I'm done. Next time that happens, I'm not coming home.
And I'm not going into the light either.
No, I'm not going into the light either. I'm turning around and going where I'm supposed
back here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to another dimension or something and have a life on a vacation planet.
Yeah, I agree.
Beach, fishing pole, and a beer.
I'm just going to shut up. I was going to say in a nudie magazine, you need that. You got to have that. Come on.
I need something.
See, you need something.
I need something.
That phantom smell.
Oh no, phantom smells could be
farts. That's why I started laughing when you said phantom smells.
Well, I mean, because it's the truth. Because sometimes you're just like, well, what the hell? Like, I'm in the kitchen and I'm like, why do I smell lemons? I don't have lemons. I'm not using soap with lemons. Like, okay, so where the hell is this lemon coming from? And you tear the house apart looking for lemon, and then it's like, what? And then as soon as it's there, it's gone.
Yeah.
So then you have to sit there and figure out, okay, what the hell is that? So that's like with my grandfather, it's baby powder and Old Spice. Or actually, no, it's not Old Spice. What was that? Oh my God, I asked this all the time.
Irish Spring?
No, it was that blue aftershave. Is it?
Gillette.
Aquavelva.
Is it Aqua Velvet? Yeah,
I think
see,
so.
like that's that. And then my father is Marlboro Reds, and it's Marlboro Reds and dirt. I don't know. It's like that earthy mossy smell, which
Yeah.
I go, okay, that's just straight tobacco. Maybe that's Lucky Strikes and not Marlboro Reds he's smoking that day. I don't know, but that's what I smell.
Dad is butterflies, which I saw too. I saw a yellow butterfly and a solid black butterfly.
Yep.
I had orange ones.
And then the smell is, I don't know if you've ever been in a feed mill. But the smell of making the feed, the grain dust, dust, that is the smell.
Yeah.
On an investigation, and Adrian's here, she'll tell you. Same place.
I was right. Hi, Adrian.
I can't ever remember. All I remember is seeing the blue bottle on the shelf, or the blue liquid in the clear bottle. That's all.
All of a sudden, like an old-timey perfume smell, like.
Oh, that fruity or flowery.
It was rose.
Okay.
It was rose. And everybody was like, I smell that, and I smell that. And I was like,
you good, Renee?
Oh, great grandma.
Yeah, just hearing shit. That's okay. Like, what? I'm like, why am I hearing scratching on the walls? What is going on? It's okay.
Yeah, it was roses. And we all did, everybody. And it wasn't something that like the investigation literally stopped at that point. And it was just such an overwhelming smell. And all of a sudden Adrian looks at me and I'm like, that's my great grandma. I had this look on my face. I'm like, oh, because she wore expensive flower perfume. It wasn't like your Avon. It was the real rose perfume.
Yeah. That was like with my grandmother after she passed away. I was living in the house while she was in the hospital because we had a crazy tenant that wanted to burn the house down.
Imagine that.
So I was in the house to make sure the house didn't burn down. And I would go upstairs every once in a while just to check things out, and her rocking chair. And I'm like, hey, Graham, how are you doing? And then I was in the bathroom because I had to go to the bathroom. And her perfume that she would wear, oh my God, it's that stuff in the yellow. Is it Jeanette, something? I don't know. It's that yellow bottle.
I know which one you're talking about.
Like yellow bottle. And then you would get that, and then you'd get the powder. And that's and that's what I got. I got the powder smell of that. And I went, okay, you're here. But the chair's going wild. And I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. Bye. I love you. Okay, I obviously interrupted something, some hanky-panky probably going on with Grandpa. Like, I'm leaving. Bye. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Whenever Spirit visits, I know immediately. It's ozone. I used to think it was baby powder or talcum, but it's definitively ozone. When you turn on a fluorescent light and you get that ozone smell, that is what it is.
Yeah.
It's ozone. That is energy, electricity, acting with the oxygen around you, making O3 out of O2. And that makes sense because Spirit coming in its full form would change the energy around you. So I figured that out. It took me a while, but I finally figured that out.
So being in medical, I know that the last thing to go is your hearing. But the first thing we forget is how somebody smells and then how somebody sounds.
Yeah.
And well, and that's it's written into our DNA how those people sounded and how they smelled. So if we hear them again, we know exactly who it is. It brings everything right back, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have on 2 DVDs film from my great grandfather. So when they got married, my great grandmother and my great grandfather's on this film. When my grandmother and my great grandfather and my grandfather got married, it's on this film. All the kids, the trips, the holidays, and everything else. And it was so weird. So my great grandmother was my best friend, and I remember sitting. I just had Dylan. Dylan was 8 months old. We just came back from Hawaii. And my grandmother was so happy that we had this film put on DVD. And she's like, let's sit down, let's watch it. And I was always that kid that I wanted to watch it. I wanted to hear the family history. Well, I was there during the transfer to VHS, right? But I had forgotten that my great grandmother and my great grandfather and my grandmother explained everything in these videos. So here I was, and I'm holding Dylan, bouncing around, everything else. And my grandmother all of a sudden looks over at me, and I hear my great grandmother's voice. I was done.
Mm-hmm.
Done. I didn't even hear her voice. I heard her intake, and I was done. And then all of a sudden the room just smelled like her. And I was like, okay, I'm like, Lordy, I can't do this. I can't do this. My great grandfather was looking at me. And they had an interesting relationship. They didn't quite like each other.
So, right in that pickle jar, so Mom's gotta talk to Pop.
Oh, listen, the day that she died, I had a dream that she was gone. I won't get into the details, but I knew she was gone. And I told everybody at the dining room table, and of course, everybody knew I had gifts, the dream that I had. And I get done telling the dream, and my great grandfather stands up, walks over to his house to go make himself a colored water for a celebration.
Yeah.
And I looked at him, I'm like, you going to miss her? And he just looked at me. And as he walked away, I went, Frank! And he turned around and looked at me. I was like, Francis! And just like she did, I swear that glass is going to come out of his hand. He's going to hit me with it. And we just both busted up laughing. And that's how I would introduce myself every time I came into the house after that. Because, of course, I didn't live there. I'd walk into the house. I'd be like, Frank! He'd get so mad.
That's funny shit.
I just wanted to see the post-traumatic on his face.
So, what? How is she back?
You might have been actually helping him heal. You don't know.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, he shut up from a nap one time, and he's like, "What do you want, bitch?" And I was like, "A fucking hug." And he's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna kill you."
When I'm cooking and I'm following a recipe, I try to follow the recipe.
I don't.
This is how you're supposed to. Well, I don't either. But that's because, when I add in the garlic and I go to stop.
Garlic or jarlic?
Garlic.
Okay.
But some things call for jars also. But I'll hear in my head, that's enough, child. Or don't set that down. You're not done yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Add some more. I'll hear that. That's my ancestors telling me, okay, that's a decent recipe, but this is going to make it better. I listen. If I hear that, I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. That is someone telling me to put more garlic in this thing. Okay. That's enough, child. Okay.
Oh, I get that. Is that all the vanilla you're going to put in that? Are you sure that's enough?
Yeah.
Jenny, just a little more. You can never have enough vanilla.
Or in my case, it's 2 more pages of that research. Oh, you need to go look at this article. You need to go look at this person's tree. You need to go look at this 1950 census. You need to turn the page. And then there's always an answer. Or there's,
When I got
just
home
get up
from work,
and do it, woman.
Yeah, when I got home from work, I got out of my truck. I got my coffee, my water, and my smokes, and stuff, my mail that I need to take in the house. Shut the door. start walking to the house, and I turn around. So I did, and there was this yellow swallowtail. And then after I got inside and got everything put where it needed to be, I heard "Look out back," and there was this black swallowtail. That's Dad saying, "Hey, spring's here. You need to go fishing."
I had a breakdown. So I mentioned at the beginning of the show that, Avelina's birthday is tomorrow.
Yep.
Dylan's is on the 11th. Pat's is on the 3rd.
11.
I had a
3/11.
breakdown because Dylan shares the birthday with my grandmother. And I was just sitting in my stink. And all of a sudden...
Which is okay to do that, by the way.
Did you say in your sink?
No, stink.
Oh, okay.
Just her funk. She's in her funk. So
I got you.
It's okay to do that because sometimes answers come there.
Well, and all of a sudden, I had I hadn't put my hummingbird feeders up because I hadn't seen a hummingbird yet. And all of a sudden, this hummingbird is right in my face going, zzz, zzz, zzz. And then over to the feeder, tapped the feeder, came over to me, got right back in my face, like, zzz. And I'm like, okay, I'll get you your food. Like, let me go make the food. And I got excited. I got happy. And I went and I made hummingbird food and put the hummingbird feeders out and everything else. And only one came back. The one that was looking for the food got right in my face, buzzed me again, and went straight for the food. And I realized, so I say it's signs from God, right? That was, when I was little, to keep me and my ADHD occupied, they had hummingbird feeders all around the yard, my great grandparents. And to keep me occupied, I had to go count hummingbirds. Have you ever tried to count hummingbirds? It doesn't work.
No.
At all. And I had to wait for the white one.
I don't like bumblebees because of being stung. And so when a hummingbird approaches me, I get the bumblebee sound instead of the hummingbird sound. And then I'll start swatting at it. And then I'll realize it's a hummingbird. Okay, I'm sorry, but it doesn't come back. But while we were on the show, probably a half hour ago, I'm sitting right in front of you can't see it, but I'm sitting right in front of my window. And I got the curtain drawn so the light doesn't kill the video. But I see this thing flying around outside my window. And I'm like, oh, bumblebees are back. And then I look at it. I'm like, no, that's too big to be a bumblebee. That's a hummingbird. And I've been meaning to get a hummingbird feeder. So that's a sign it's time to do this and invite them onto the property. Interesting.
Would you both like to know the metaphysical meaning behind hummingbirds?
Mm-hmm.
I already know. Go ahead.
So, hummingbird, right? So, to some, having sightings of hummingbirds signal that the challenging times are over and the healing can begin.
And that's interesting that I saw this on today, the 13th, because the astrology, there's so much in Aries. I mean, everything is just supposed to break loose and be given. I have lottery tickets and scratch off tickets underneath a candle right now. I have been putting out all day what I want to come into my life and try to be very specific about it. So I am attempting to use the astrology to better my life and help bring better things back in. My money back from the FBI, maybe winning a little bit more, maybe having somebody to share my life with. And I was kind of specific about that because I've had some bad experiences with that. But yeah, I'll digress. But main point is Joni, the other co-host on the show, she puts out a snippet every morning, and I'll read it and I'll share it out. But her astrology is spot on.
Yeah.
And she said, buy a letter. That's all, folks. Lottery ticket. Put out what you want to come into your life, but be specific. So I'm following that advice. I've been peeking over here at my wall. I don't have a board to put everything on, but I've got a piece of paper that says movie and screenplay and book. So I got to start with the book to get to the screenplay to get the movie, but I have to be able to sit down here and start typing. And every time I come up here to start typing, I just get blank. And that's because it's time.
You're not supposed to type. You're supposed to speak.
What's that?
You're not supposed to type. You're supposed to speak.
Well, right.
Into a program.
As a writer, I will tell you, I can't sit down at a computer and type.
I can't read my handwriting. And that may be where the voice thing, like Dragon Naturally Speaking or something, comes into play. I need to just speak it.
Yep.
So the computer types it.
And then somebody else can spell check it, put the grammar in it, and tidy it up and make it look, you know what I mean? Like that's not your job. Your job is just to speak your truth.
Get it out.
And get it out. Because speaking your truth and getting it out is going to be another way of you triggering another repairing process that you need to have done.
And that's also something I've thought about is, okay, I've already worked through this. I don't know how many times. So if I sit down to write this book, I'm going to have to work through it again. And I'm tired of working through it. But there might be something I missed. And if there's something I missed, that means I'm going to have to work through it. And I'm tired of working through shit.
But look
at
it this
way.
Doing? Look at this way. The only way that you think that you're doing it and working through it, you're really not working through it because you've already worked through it. You're just showing yourself that look at what I've been through. Look what I've done.
And I'm no longer at
and
that.
I'm no longer this, that, the other. I've done this. So you need that. You have to remember too that along your journey, you do, and everybody's like, oh, some people are like, oh, don't look backwards. Like, okay, we'll bring this biblical. Don't look backwards because you're going to turn into a pillar of salt. So trust yourself.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. But sometimes you've got to look backwards because you've got to see how far, because it may look the same road on the same shit on either side, maybe trees on both sides. What I haven't moved. But if
like driving through Nebraska.
Driving to Nebraska. There we go. And it doesn't change. So
what are we doing in this cornfield? Looking for mud.
So sometimes you have to do that so that you can give yourself, fuck yeah, I did that. Fuck yeah. And then it gives you that jolt so you can move another 40, 50,000 miles.
Perfect example. Working on the house. I'll go 3 months. I'll be doing little stuff here, little stuff there. Doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere. But then I'll sit down on the couch and I'll look around. I'm like, holy shit, dude, you got a lot done. When I just had, I mentioned this earlier, when I just had my first floor, just the floor, no walls, no nothing. I don't know how many months I've been working on it, but it didn't feel like I'd gotten anything done. But then I'm laying in my sleeping bag and I wake up in the morning and I'm looking at the sun shining out my second story window from my first story floor. And I'm like,
because you do need that boy.
A month ago, you didn't have a floor and now you're laying on it.
By the way, I just want to mention I like your Roswell, New Mexico shirt. Not that I'm partial to New Mexico, maybe. I just,
No.
I was
aliens.
thinking about Roswell, New Mexico the other day,
No,
and
go
I
away.
saw houses for sale
Go
there.
away. Go away.
No, sitting down, like I get where you're coming from. I have started and I've stopped and I've started and I've stopped and I've started because I don't know how I want to tell my story, right?
That I've got 3 different ways I could go, and I may do all 3. I don't know yet.
I look at it as every time I sit down and I pick up my pen and I write, whether it be music, whether it be poems, whether it just be a simple small story. I am writing my truth. I'm writing my history. It's not only seeing how far you've come, but it's a reminder to yourself that you're safe. In my case, it's a reminder that, you know what, I may have this post-traumatic stress disorder with everything that I've been through, and I may have triggers, and I've changed my DNA, and I am finally learning how to live a very calm, quiet life, to where, I try not to let the little things stress me out, but sometimes the little things just flash back.
Yeah.
But it helps with your post-traumatic. It really does. It helps put things into play. And post-traumatic is something that, thank God I have an understanding of it. I understand what the mind's doing. I understand what the body's doing. After Pat died, I'd be driving down the road and all of a sudden I'd feel the panic. I'd smell the smell. I'd feel the dew underneath my feet. From when I found him, I'd see his face, and this panic would well up. Where most people would just shove it down and continue, I knew I need to pull over. I need to process this, because if I don't process this, it's just going to become bigger and bigger and bigger, and then I'm going to end up in a mental ward, right? And like I said, I'm pregnant. I have other kids that are my responsibility. And I need to take care of them. And the only way that I can take care of them is, like in the medical field, you let them fall, because if you try to catch them and hurt yourself,
you will hurt yourself.
You will hurt yourself, and you are not going to be useful to them or yourself at that point, right? Yeah. So I have to take care of myself, and I have to process this, and I have to understand why I'm processing it. My brain is processing it, and I'm going through it over and over and over again, and I'm memorizing every detail. And the second that I do, I can let it go. I can say, okay, I understand. I've been through this. It helped with the healing process. It helped with it all. So when I go sit down and I go to write, I may feel those feelings again, but I understand those feelings. I understand what I went through, and that it was real. Because I can sit here and I can pretend like I can pick up the phone and call my grandmother. I can pretend to pick up the phone and call Pat, right? Like, I've always had this weird ability to be able to fucking move away and be a functioning person. And it's not that I'm leaving everything behind. It's just I get this feeling like they're just a phone call away.
Yeah.
I lie to myself that way, but I don't know if it's lying to myself or if it's just...
Not a lie. Not a lie.
Not lying, because it's the truth.
All we have to do is say, hey.
All I have to say is, hey.
I need some help. I need some advice. Can you help me?
Right. And for me, that's prayer, right? I sit down and I'm in a consistent state of prayer all the time. I'm consistently talking to the Father. I'm consistently talking to Mary. I'm consistently talking to Jesus. I will pull a random saint of the day. Like, okay, like what can I learn from this saint? And how can I do this? Right. So it's maybe not a phone call away, but it's a prayer away. I know that they can hear me. I know that they can see me. I know that they're there. But writing and putting everything down onto paper makes it real. And sometimes that realness we're maybe not ready for.
Yeah.
Maybe you need that extra shard to sit down and fully understand
and that could
what is going on.
That could be, because every time I've sat down to start writing this book, something stops me, and then I go through something and I learn something new. So that may very well be.
It's like my divorce. Okay, I mean, we're completely honest on this show.
Yeah.
I haven't spoke to the kids' father in 5 years.
Mhm.
He has not spoken to them in 5 years. I know I can go into the courts and I can say X, Y, Z, and the courts are going to be like, here's your divorce, here's the kids, here's this. You know, obviously it's abandonment. He's done X, Y, Z. I don't want anything from him. I don't want an apology. I love him where he's at. If this is what he wants for his life, I go for it. Thank you for leaving me the kids. You know, I'll have a happy life now. But I go in and I see a lawyer. I go to set up that appointment for the lawyer, and that panic happens because of my last divorce and what I went through, right? Even though I know this time I have the upper hand. Because, I mean, if he were to walk through the door right now, Avelina wouldn't know who he is. Yeah. So I have that upper hand. Like, okay, he doesn't even know his kid. You know, and Nate going to be 15. Nate's going to look at him and go, what are you doing here? Get out. Right? So, I mean, I know this, but the process of it in about a month, I hope you two are available because I'm going to be throwing up. I'm going to be in a sheer panic. And here you go. We talk about the changes. I'm going to start losing my hair again. I know I'm going to start losing weight again. I'm going to start having nightmares again. I know these things because I know how I'm going to handle it, right? As stupid as that sounds, I logically, I'm like, okay, I'm perfectly fine, but I'm realistic with myself going, okay, Janice, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have to go through this. You're going to have to face that fear.
You're preparing for that fight or flight.
Yes. Yes. And that's something with post-traumatic. Yeah. Right. Post-traumatic, you fight that. Am I gonna fight or am I gonna fly?
Always waiting for that shoe to drop.
Yes.
That next thing.
And I thank God that I understand that. And like in my relationship with Jesse, I'm very solid. I am not waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm not looking for the other shoe to drop. I'm not. Okay. With Ed, I was digging through his phone. With Travis, I was digging through his phone. With Jesse, he leaves his phone out and I'm like, oh, hey, it needs to be charged. Flip it over, put it down on the table.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting that other shoe to drop because if I were to expect that other shoe to drop, then I'm going to push him away and that other shoe is going to drop. Right. So I try very hard not to do that. And then this time going through the divorce, I have that support. And I know I have that support. And I know Jesse's sitting here. He's listening right now. And I already know that Jesse's going, Janice is going to freak out. She's going to stop eating. She's going to start doing this. She's going to start doing that. Her hair is going to fall out. I'm going to have to be there every step of the way. And I think that I have that support. I have that support system because the first time I went through my divorce, I didn't have friends. I didn't have family. I didn't have nothing. Right?
Hey, Yessie, if you need it, you have a male's support. Just saying. Okay. You can vent. I'm here. Okay.
So this time I'm in a different situation. But that doesn't mean that fear is not embedded in me.
Right. But I bet you go through it better this time. Maybe just a little.
Fuck, I don't know. I have to walk into that courthouse.
It's going to be better.
Have you ever seen me walk into that courthouse? Oh, that courthouse. Talk about paranormal.
When
I instantly get angry.
When you walk in, tell anything that's there, don't fuck with me today. Today is the day of my freedom. You will not fuck with me. Fuck off. This is the day of my freedom. I finally made it. You're not going to take it away from me. This is my fucking day.
Right. And I don't want to fight.
We need to tell a lot of people that, just saying. That just hit. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't want to fight. And then there's that confrontation thing again, right? I don't want to fight.
That's why I have the sword and the shield. Don't worry about it.
You know where the keys are.
Mhm.
We haven't been on a drive in a while.
Well, and that was the other thing I was going to touch upon. Our dreams with what we've been through, and that's been hitting me lately. I've been dreaming about Ed. I've been the what if, right? The what if he comes back? What if he decides that he wants to fight? What if he wants XYZ? What am I going to do? And it's not the first time that I've had these dreams, because the past 5 years the anxiety's been real.
Hmm?
I'm not going to sit here and lie, and that's why I need this divorce, and I need to be free, and I need to have everything finalized. So I'm living in a tug of war.
I understand.
I'm living in the, if I just let it go and wait
As
until
the bells are ringing, as the church bells are ringing.
I hear the song.
I'm listening. Sorry.
I have that what if. Okay, what if this thing would not have gotten inside of me? What if I would have not invited it into me? Who would I be today? Would I still be with my ex-wife? Would we be happy? The answer is no. Because even after I got that thing removed and I attempted to still be friends and help this person showed me in one of the worst ways in my mind, even after that energy is gone, who she chose to continue to be. And I'm thankful for that, because I don't ever have to talk to that woman again in my life, and I'm grateful for that. I'm just going to say it. And if she watches this later and hears that, I don't give two. As I hear a child's voice.
A little while ago, I literally, which is literally, I love her.
We all do.
No, I get that. I sit down and I run through the, what if we didn't move here? What if we didn't do this? What if we didn't do that? How did I do something to him? And then I have to realize that, like, he made those choices.
Yes.
So and a lot of the healing process for me with this is my relationship that I have with my first ex-husband now. The relationship I have with my first ex-husband, he hit me hard. Pat's birthday, I always talk to him, because if there's one person that understands, it's going to be him. Mm-hmm. The loss of a child changes you completely. Like nothing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nothing matters. And I sent him a message and I said, if I had to do it all over again, I would do it. I would.
Yeah.
Pat was worth it. Right? Mm-hmm. My ex is now going through therapy, and there are certain things that are coming up in that therapy, and he's working through our first marriage 20 some years ago right now. He's finally facing the reality of what he did and how it affected us. And I'm not saying that I was perfect in that marriage. I wasn't either. I wasn't. But his post-traumatic plays with his parents, with his family life, and it came into our marriage. So his childhood really affected the way that it really affected our marriage. So he came back with, I would too, and I would do it different. And that really hit me. It really hit me, like I wasn't the best husband. I did things that I wish I never did. I wish I could take this back. And then now here I am, after like 10 years of being like, well, you and you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I turn around and go, well, I could have been a better wife. Yes, you could have been a better husband, but I could have been a better wife. And I'm helping him work through his post-traumatic of not only his childhood, but our marriage. But for him to come back and say, I should have done XYZ. I should have been a better husband. And after we ended things, I should have been a better friend. I should have been this. Because I still wanted that friendship. Travis was my best friend. And losing the friendship hurt more than losing the relationship.
That right there. I totally understand that.
That really sucked. And then I look at my second marriage now, and there was no friendship. There was no nothing. It was just roommates. And then this third relationship, my third time going through, I have my best friend by my side. I have my ex-husband's support 110% because he's still one of my best friends. We have kids together, we have grandkids together, and we work through it.
If you can, that's important.
Yeah, it's very important that it doesn't. I mean, the bullshit aside, I mean, I was once in love with this man, and I had 3 of his kids, and we were best friends. We literally grew up together. I was 16, he was 20, and we were married. Like, I was a child when I got married. I look at Nate. Nate's going to be 15, and I'm like, oh my God. When I was 15, I was living on my own. I was paying my bills. I was doing this. I was doing that. I can't imagine that for my kids. And then at 16, married. So we literally grew up. But I digress. Working through the fight or flight is very hard. And because it has changed our DNA and it has changed our mindsets, and it puts new fears. And whether it's fears from being a child or what we went through as teenagers or adults, it's just recognizing it and respecting it. You have to respect it.
Yeah.
Because it is a part of you no matter what, right? You have to respect that trauma. The trauma is real.
Yeah. And that trauma can show up as arthritis. That trauma can show up as diabetes. That
Hair loss.
trauma can show up as hair loss.
Yeah.
Heart attack.
High cortisol levels.
Fatty liver.
It can show up in many different physical aspects. And when you go to the doctor and they tell you there's nothing wrong with you, guess what? There's nothing wrong with you physically. It is metaphysically that is causing physical symptoms. So if you want to heal those physical symptoms, you need to heal the metaphysical part that is trying to come through. Makes sense?
And then that, yes, it does. Because, the more that you don't handle the trauma, the more that you don't handle the stress, we turn to things like drugs. We turn to things like alcohol.
Yep,
we turn to things like XYZ. And like
codependent.
We turn to the cardinal sins. As I put it, we turn to whatever can release our mind, right? Mm-hmm. And I have this autoimmune disorder. I have CRPS, and I have had to learn how to manage my stress. I've had to learn how to manage my post-traumatic.
Yeah.
Because if I let it get to me, my body swells, the pain hits, and I'm down.
Yep.
Because every morning I wake up, it's mind over matter. And that says everything right there, mind over matter.
Yeah.
So that could be used positively
or
negatively.
Yeah. And if you listen too much to the negative, that's a thing.
If you wake up in the morning, say on Monday, today is Monday the 13th, not Friday the 13th, but Monday the 13th. A lot of people put the two together and said today's going to suck. Well, if that's what they told themselves, guess what? Their day probably sucked.
It will suck.
Even though I was late for work this morning, I'm like, you know what? It's going to be a damn good day today.
Yeah.
When you're tying your shoes, what are you tying? You are tying a knot. In the metaphysical, what is there? Not magic. You are tying a knot. So put good intention into those shoelaces when you are tying them, and you may have a good day. Just saying.
At the end of the day, if you had a bad day and you focus on nothing but the negative of that day, then what's going to happen? You're going to go to bed. You're going to have restless sleep. You're going to have a bad night. It's going to be rough. And you're going to wake up in a shitty fucking mood.
Yeah.
And that shitty day from the day before is just going to carry on till the next. So I don't care what type of day you had.
Right.
Tell me at least 5 positive things that happened. Let's focus on the rest is shit. But you know what? You have somebody.
Go ahead.
Have somebody to call to vent to about it. I called Keith the other day. It was Keith. Listen, I am struggling with something. I am struggling hard. I let him talk about his day. I let him do this. I let him do that. And then it was my turn, right? And it was like, I don't know how to process this.
I had to get myself into a place to where I could really hear and feel her. And she allowed that to happen. So we kind of mentally set intention. If you need to verbally set intention, that is perfect also. But it worked.
Right. And if Renee would have been available, I probably would have bypassed Keith and I would have head straight to Renee.
And that's cool.
It was a girl issue. It was a massive girl issue that I was having. And poor Keith had to sit through my girl issue of my insecurities because I don't feel like I belong.
It helps me learn.
Right. Well, and that's another thing is like your insecurities. I have the greatest fear that I don't belong.
Oh, you do.
But what
my biggest ones for the longest time.
You both belong right here.
But it's a real fear.
Right here.
I am worthy, I am loved, and I am healing.
Yes. Right. At the healing. I am healing. I tell myself that every day. When I get up in the morning and my body snaps and crackles, instead of going negative, I'm like, nope, I'm healing. And my shoulder's starting to feel a little bit better. My thumb's starting to feel a little bit better. What?
I went to go pick up part of the garden bed. And I felt this twinge in my back. And I dropped everything. And I was like, I can't do this. And instead of bitching about it, I looked at why my back hurts. How many horses did I break? Right? How many stupid shit that I did on a 3-wheeler? Oh, let's not talk about the 4-wheeler or the snowmobile. Let's not talk about when I did this. And I had to laugh. Or giving birth how many times, right? And I'm sitting here and I just had to sit down and laugh and go, okay, my back hurts because I was once young, dumb, and having fun.
It's easier for me to tell you.
For something else, I was like, oh shit, here we go.
Let me tell you, that's for the after show.
It's easier for me to tell you what bones I have not broken. I'm serious on that. And the other day, I had to sit down and take a look at where I am in my life. And I had to admit to myself that, you know what? You need to ask someone for help. 2 years ago, I would have been able to hoist a bundle of insulation up on my shoulder, carry it upstairs, do all 25 of them without batting an eye. The other day I did one and I set it down and I didn't even get it to the attic. I just got it up from the driveway to the second floor and I set it down. And I texted my son, hey, what are you doing? I need some help. Can you help me? Because my body said, we are not as young as we used to be. The amount of pain that caused is not right. And you need help doing this. So we did it together. Then we went out to eat. We had a good time. It was a good day. But I had to admit to myself that I can't do some of the things that I used to be able to do. And that's okay. I had to tell myself, that's okay. Was I pissed off about it? Yes. But I had to tell myself, it's okay. Can I compensate for it in some ways? Probably. I can start using the Bowflex. It's been downstairs for 2 years that I haven't gotten on yet. Imagine that.
That's where mine is.
And those flat surfaces to set stuff on. Just saying. I've had a lot of conversations today, but this is the first one with people. A squirrel.
No, getting old, and I think also with say post traumatic and everything else. So, teaching our children.
Yeah.
Teaching our children, teaching our grandchildren. It's like the age old theory. My daddy beat me, so I'm going to beat you. And then it's okay. No, I'm not going to beat my children. I'm going to gentle parent bullshit. Right? There's a happy medium.
It's my dad.
But
Gentle parenting, I deal with that in school.
I sit down and I try to explain to my kids where I'm coming from. I try to explain to my kids my past. And now that they're older, they understand it. Dylan's about family legacy, lessons learned. What can he pass to the kids? He has his, but he also wants to hear mine. And that's huge. So sitting down and instead of doing what we did back in the day, the 50s, the 60s, and not saying anything and holding it all in and bottling it in, use your fuck ups as examples. Be honest with your children, especially when they become adults. I'm not saying that you have to start it when they're like 2 or 3 or 4 years old. They're not going to understand that. That's just trauma.
Yeah, be truthful when they're adults, please. Because I can speak on that. Because when you find out things from your childhood, thanks. Because maybe I wouldn't have been looking for daddy when I was looking for my partner. And not only that, maybe I didn't have this feeling of lack that I wasn't good enough.
That
because somebody decided to leave me for brake cleaner, a carburetor, and a Cuban cigar. That's what I was told. Come to find out, there was a different reason. Think of all the fucking trauma that would have saved.
Yeah.
I get that. Being adopted, I get that. I get that 100%.
I was told over and over and over throughout my life by my friends, by my ex-girlfriends, by my ex-wives, my last 9-month lesson. You can't do this. You can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
I finally said, you know what? I can do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm taking videos. And I've got a really funny video of me pulling out the main support beam of my home with my truck and a log chain. While I had my garden going, and I was in the process of getting my chow chow that you told me I can't have.
So now I want to know how many of you guys go through this. Well, I have ice cream in the refrigerator. I would really like some, but I didn't earn it. Or it's not good for me. I shouldn't have it.
Okay. When I get off work and I come home, Kelly Miller, she's a medium on Facebook. She taught me this. When you get off work and you go home, do 3 things. If you do 3 things, the rest of the night is yours. So I check my mail, I check my email, and I do Facebook happy birthdays. That's 3 things. Now, if I choose to do more, I can. Mm-hmm. But I did my 3 things to support other people. I wish them happy birthday. Hope they had a great day. That's support. That's helping them. I got my mail. I know where I'm at there with my bills and whatnot. I help myself. 3 little things. It can be letting the dog out. It can be feeding the cat. That's one thing. Doing the litter box. Doing the dishes. Just 3 things. Then if you want to go on, those 3 little things will help you advance to maybe something a little bit bigger that you want to tackle that night. Mm-hmm. Or you're going to sit your ass on the couch in front of Netflix and binge watch a show, and I'll be damned if you don't learn something from that show. Spirit has a way of working through media.
Yes, I used to. Now I've calmed down over the years. If there was a spoon in the sink and I laid my head down, I would panic. I'd have to go wash the spoon. Well, now the sink is dirty, and now I've got water on the counter, and now I need to do the spoon, clean the sink, clean the counter. Oh shit! I got to put that spoon away. I got to dry it. Oh, by the way, there's laundry that needs to be switched and folded. I got to switch and fold the laundry. And once I get done with that, I'm like, oh crap. Well, now I got to put the clothes away. So quietly go sneak into the kids' room at 2:00 in the morning, put the clothes away. Okay, now I can lay down. Oh shit, did I clean out the dryer lint? I got to get back up, make sure that the dryer lint's cleaned out. Oh shit, well, that garbage is full. Now I got to take that garbage out and I got to do this. And now it's 4:00 in the morning and I got to be up in 2 hours to get the kids ready for school. So I might as well just go ahead. Did I get their clothes laid out? Is their backpacks ready? I was OCD to the point where I couldn't function I could not sleep if there was a mess in the house. Ask me how often I slept.
But was that oh my God, OCD? Speak English, Renee. Was that OCD trauma related?
From childhood.
From childhood. And one of my biggest things that I remember from childhood is my mother never bought me new clothes. And if she did, those clothes had to last me all year. All right. So by the end of the year, my pants were at my knees. My shirts weren't fitting right. She ain't going to buy me a bra because my tits are bigger than hers now. And she's fucking pissed off about that. My shoes don't fit. All my socks have holes in them. And I'm told that, you know what, if I took better care of my clothes, it wouldn't be that way. Right. So
it's time. Year, school clothes.
One year she took me to the mall. She bought me all these new clothes. I was really surprised. She must have been on a good high. And, I get home, wash the clothes. I put them away perfectly like she told me to do. She comes in after her fucking, happiness, and she flips her bipolar bitch ass, and she pulls all my clothes out of the closet and all of my drawers and throws them to my sister because I didn't take care of them properly and I didn't put them away properly. So therefore, I don't deserve them, even though Sarah's 4 years younger than me and doesn't fit those clothes. She's going to get those clothes because you know what? I'm an ungrateful bitch. I get to go to school, first day of school, the next day with shoes that don't fit, pants that don't fit. And this is my 6th grade year, first year in middle school. And we all know how hard that is for kids.
Yeah.
Right? To the point where the principal tells my grandmother that my clothes aren't fitting and that I need clothes that fit. My grandmother comes down to the school. She takes one look at me. She goes, where the hell are all your new clothes? I'm like, they're now Sarah's. Why are they Sarah's? Well, this is what happened. So what did she do? Every day she went down to the school with a brand new set of clothes. And I changed at school. And before I got home, I changed back. Because if she would have found out, those clothes would have been taken too, and my grandmother's ass would have been hung up a tree.
Yep.
So yeah, it definitely post-traumatic OCD, and that's programming, and that's changing of the DNA. That's changing the mindset of somebody. That's mommy dearest.
But once we go through the shower, healing ourselves, we can start working on reprogramming, but it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. I am programming does not happen overnight. It takes a while.
Good for you. Good for you.
It takes a while.
I don't want to pull them.
No healing happens overnight anyway. No. And anybody that says that they healed in 24 hours, they healed in a month from all this really traumatic shit, they're fucking lying.
It takes so much time to stop a habit and so much time to start a habit. So you have to give yourself patience and time. You're not going to sit down in your chair, on your couch, in your car, at the lake, in the forest, don't care where the fuck you are. You're not going to sit down and work everything through in 24 hours. It is not going to happen.
Impossible. Because if that was the case, oh my God, how much better would this world be if it was a simple little, here, take this and all your childhood drama, trauma, pain, and bullshit's gone. And if you take it, poof, the world would be such a better place, wouldn't it?
No, well, This is an 18 and above show. I tell you what, if everybody was like Cheech and Chong, the world would definitely be a better place, and trauma would definitely be healed with a lot of laughter.
I hear that. But speaking of laughter, actually not even speaking of laughter, but it's tally mark time. I'll be right back. Yes.
I gotta be like Morgan, pull over the board and be like draw on my iPad, and it goes like to
that.
But that takes this.
Yeah.
So the lottery has to win. So then we could do that.
Well, I said I have a candle on top of lottery and scratch off tickets, and you both know that if I win that jackpot, I'm gonna come see you and hand you something. Just
saying. Handshake?
Huh?
Go to the bathroom.
Okay. Oh, that's warm. Oh wait, you meant actually go to the bathroom.
Actually get up and go.
You and Jesse are cut from the same cloth.
And Kelly too. Jesus.
Well, it might be a little damp right now, just saying.
Is it a boy thing?
I think it is a boy thing. It's got to be a boy thing. Because I wouldn't sit there and be like, oh, I wouldn't think that. I think it's because they have the functionality of they could go anywhere. They pull over the side of the road and there you go. They can go behind a tree. They can do this. They can do that. They can do this. And it's like with us, we copping a squat's kind of hard.
Oh, yeah. Like Jesse, he'll be standing there outside. I'll be like, "What are you?" Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're the bathroom's free. Well, I'm right here, so why?
I
raised boys too, and it was all about that. How far can it go? Where can it reach?
Yep. Can I write my name in cursive in the snow? All that shit.
Yeah.
All that shit.
Yeah.
It's like
off the roof. Look at the arch on this one.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, look at this stream. Don't cross the streams.
Yeah. Look at Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I swear to God, it's like ingrained in all of them.
I mean, and farts.
Yeah.
And then why do they get? Yeah. And then why do they get announced? Yeah, I got it in the bathroom. Oh.
Yeah. Like what? Like what? Like really? Like thanks.
Like I know it's normal. I know it's a body function. I know it's necessary.
Yeah, but it's just like they have to announce. It's like I need to make a formal legal announcement. It's like they like hear ye. Like let's have the town crier in the middle of the page going, "Hey, we are gonna go pee outside now. Is that okay?" It's like
everybody at 11:48 today meet in town circle. Make sure you have a full pot of coffee in you. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh shit! Here he comes. He's gonna stop talking smack.
Oh, exactly. He's gonna be like, "What the hell?" But that's. Hi.
Hola.
How you doing?
How you doing now?
How you doing? Yeah.
I feel better.
Do you? Yeah. Do you feel lighter?
I do.
Do you feel lighter? Do you need the town crier to announce to the world that
Keith has officially
hear ye.
Bring out your sorry.
I mean, how is the flow? I mean, we need to know details. Was it beautiful? Was it strong? Was it lingering?
No, because that's the conversation that you guys have in your heads when that goes on. When you don't have another dude peeing next to you, yeah. Trust me.
No blockages. I'm hydrated. I'm good.
So smell, color, and feel was all there.
Yeah. God damn it! Try not to laugh.
I know.
I'm in the medical profession.
Well, that's the mom. I mean, technically, you're supposed to. You're supposed to look at both functions to make sure everything's okay. Because if you're doing something weird,
size, smell,
Consistency.
Okay, listen, it's all important. And as a mother, I did not realize how much poop would be the center of topic of conversation between mothers. Why is it okay? He had 3 bowel movements the other day, and let me tell you that it wasn't great. It wasn't good stuff. No, they haven't gone in like 3 days. I'm kind of worried. Oh my god, you should have seen the one she took last night. It was about this big and about this wide. And
My kid would poop and then send me pictures just out of the blue.
oh my god, Dylan. Oh no. What gets better is when your kid's in the stall taking a deuce and their friend pops over with the phone, takes a picture, and your son's going like this. And then who gets the picture? Me. I know what your son's doing right now. He's not in class. Well, motherfucker, you ain't either, okay? Because you're the one going click, 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 click. Damn shitheads.
Shit.
We have we're 18 and over. There's
We got
a ticker. We got a ticker.
Yeah. So those of you who aren't parents yet, let me tell you what. Your life will evolve around bodily functions, especially if you have boys.
Especially when they get to the teenage years.
Although Weena is just as bad. Oh my god, she's gonna find this like fucking 20 years from now on YouTube. But let me tell you what, Weena, she's like, you want to come smell it? Come here, Dad. Dad, look at what I did. Look, Dad. Wafting, Dad. Wafting.
We used to have a game we played where if you farted, you had to say safety. If you didn't say safety, whoever smelled it could say doorknob and could run after you, knocking on your head until you touched the doorknob. We called it the fart game.
My dad had a fart game, especially when there was power windows involved, and he could hit the lock button. It was, guess what I just did? And then it was, Dad, the smell's not going away. And it was, because I shit myself.
Oh, well, there was another one in our house with a significant other that I shall not be nameless because I don't want to embarrass him. But yeah. Oh, fart and then Dutch oven. Thanks.
If you don't know what a Dutch oven is, you're both laying in bed, you fart, and then you pull the covers over your significant other's head.
I have threatened to fart near the CPAP machine. So not only can he smell it, he'll be able to taste it too.
Oh, and that would be really bad because then he'd have an infection all over his face.
You ain't right.
A nice tight grip right around the face.
You ain't right. I like it, but you ain't right.
But you know what? You don't have to.
As I hear alarms out my window.
We call it Essence de Avelina. Okay. And fragrance.
Some people bottle that shit up and sell it on OnlyFans. Just saying. People do that shit.
There's one gal that made millions by farting in plastic bags and selling them on the internet.
I want you guys to look at how Blimpie got famous.
There are sick bastards out there.
Blimpie?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That man,
I want you.
Something's not right. I don't know. No.
I want you to look and see how Blimpie got famous.
No. We don't need that. Something's not right with that.
I don't even know who that is.
That's because you don't have kids that are.
That just. Yeah.
My son had to tell me.
Keith's now looking.
I am.
He's just not.
But no, post-traumatic, talking about post-traumatic.
Sorry.
Oh boy. Oh boy. It's in our private chat.
I see that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And he's a um a child. I don't know how you want to call that. Not influencer, but
You're welcome.
would teach things.
You're welcome.
Get the
Gives a
visual
whole-
out of my head. Get it out. Get it out.
Then it gives a whole new meaning to his hat. So, anyways, post traumatic. So, honestly, if any of our viewers are still watching or still on, we don't even know. But if you have post traumatic, don't be ashamed of it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Embrace it.
Accept it. Embrace it.
Embrace it.
Make
Heal
it your
from it.
superhero. Yeah. Make it your super strength.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest. It's nothing to be ashamed about. No, I mean, post traumatic is nothing to be ashamed about. Nobody's gonna laugh at you because we all have some form of post traumatic from our childhood, our teenage years, especially our teenage years. If like, we all have that post traumatic.
I was the shortest person in my class. I was the one that
No
got
shit, short
in.
shit.
That's why he's short Jesus, baby.
There we go. I was the one that got locked in lockers until the janitor would come down the hall and hear me banging on it. I was the one that would get thrown into the ladies' restroom when teachers were in there, so I'd get in trouble. And I was going to touch on this earlier, traumatic things, getting picked on. And my senior year, I had just bought a 76 Mustang Cobra. And one of the biggest football players was in Charles Park. That's right by the library, by the high school where we went to smoke. Started giving me shit. And I had just had enough. And I laid him out before anybody even saw. Knocked him out cold. Hence my nickname, Cobra. But not very many people with me after that. So it was worth it. And he learned. I learned. So it was a good experience in my mind. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. I was always the tall one. I was the tallest one all the time.
That was my ex-girlfriend that turned out to be my third cousin, which we didn't know at the time.
Yeah, I was well endowed, at a young age, so well developed. So I got picked on all the time, like traumatic.
I was the weird one. I was the weird one because I read stuff and I knew stuff and I liked weird things that weren't supposed to be liked, and I was also,
that's funny that you say that. I get it because I was right there and I was thinking about weird stuff. I used to like bugs, and my kids are deathly afraid of bugs. And we're talking about like genetic factors and the way that DNA changes, right? Obviously, we know that my childhood wasn't great. I ran away from home once, and I literally live in an area where when you say dirt floor poor, it is literally a dirt floor. Mm-hmm. I went and stayed with my dirt floor poor friends, and I was laying on the ground and I fell asleep on the dirt in a bag, and I woke up with cockroaches all over my face, and they were biting. And all over my body, and I panicked. I developed this fear of bugs. And then when I was 16 and I moved out, I moved in with somebody and in Hawaii. And Hawaii, it's really hot, it's really humid. They went to the field for 2 weeks. They came through, redid our kitchen, and nobody took out the garbage before they left. So when I came back into the house after 2 weeks, there was maggots all over the floor, in the carpet. and that fear from the cockroaches kicked in. And then how it's a long story, but I had to deal with the maggots, and my bed was on the floor, and I had like, yeah. So I had major fears, and that like it changed my DNA. I know it did, because now with my kids, they see a cockroach, they see a cricket, they see anything, they freak out.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh my God, I did that to my kids.
Transferred it. You didn't mean to.
I didn't mean to, but I transferred that fear of insects to my kids. And I love fishing, but ever since the maggot thing, I have not been able to pick up a worm and bait my own hook.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a real thing. And I was proud of myself, because I'm trying to get over my fear, and I'm trying to show my kids that I can do this, that they can do this. And, you know, we don't have garbage service. We live out in the sticks. So we haul our own garbage. We have a dump trailer. And Jesse's like, no. I'll get this, honey. I'll get this. And we go through the car wash, and we always clean it out. Right. Yep. Well, it's full of what? Maggots. I did it.
Yay.
Every single one of those little bastards went down the drain. Like,
revenge.
You know.
Go ahead. So, no.
Little things to conquer the fears, to show the kids that, listen, you don't have to be scared of bugs. Now, if one of them would have gotten on me, that would have been a different story. But
little things. Spiders. I can handle tarantulas. I will pick up a big wolf spider and carry it outside and put it in the garden. Okay. But those really small ones you can barely see, that have the like 8-foot skinny legs, needle legs.
Daddy long.
Because if it drops on me, I can't find it. I can't find it. No.
And then see what I mean, how I am, and I'm weird. This is what I'm okay. I'm weird. I am deathly afraid of clowns.
I wonder why.
No, but deathly afraid of clowns. But 2 clowns, I have no problem with.
That's what I meant.
Right? I am deathly afraid of birds. Only birds that I like are crows and ravens. But see, that's where like my fears are is and then there's like, that's why I always said I was always the weird one. They're like, well, how can you be afraid of clowns? But like you're reading Stephen King's It.
Okay, see, I can't do aliens.
See, I can't do aliens.
I can't do aliens.
Get that fucking shirt off.
I am going to help you to heal. This morning when I'm getting ready for work, even though I'm late, I stopped to think about what shirt I needed to wear today. I listened to Spirit. And that's the one I picked. I love you too. You know that, right?
Yeah.
See, and now that could be because I have looked at that. That could be because of Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
Movie. That might be, which, you know, in my opinion, that's all bullshit, but that's okay. You know, but that whole abduction scene, I couldn't eat green Jello for a while either because it was all weird. You know what I mean? So like, there's that.
I still won't eat green Jello because Shannon used to watch those crime stories, and all kinds of them were people putting antifreeze in green Jello.
I won't eat Jellos unless they're Jello shots.
And I have an implant right here.
See, and the other thing too is because then there's times that I almost want to say it's like dream paralysis, and I've woken up and something is over and it's big fucking black eyes. So I'm like, if you're taking me, don't let me remember any shit because I don't want to know. But I have woken up at times where they're sitting there with
I know.
Beady eyes going.
That's why I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because it had what? A clown and an alien.
And spiders.
And spiders.
Oh. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I can't do
that I'm fine with. But if oh my God. So St. Patrick's Day parade, we're marching because Boy Scouts. Here comes this clown. And Jacoby goes, watch my mom, guys. And I'm like hiding behind my son. I'm like, is he gone yet? Is he gone yet?
That's
and
okay.
and everybody goes, but you watched the movie It. You've read the book It. It's got about a clown, and you're watching it from Derry.
You know what that might be? You know what that might be?
What?
Clowns put on what? A mask.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't tell who that person really is. So are you afraid of clowns, or are you afraid of the masks that people put on themselves?
So I have to say it's probably like, okay, so Renee is not that much older than I am. And I mean, when I was little, my room was decorated in those creepy clown pictures.
Nope. I did go to the circus, and I do remember looking, and it's just that they just look down at you, and they just keep going, and they keep going, and they keep going. That might have been it. I don't know.
Some of them do that evil and laugh. Yeah.
But then when you look at the other clown, I'm like,
I'm okay with Ronald McDonald.
He's fine. No, Ronald McDonald can go take a
Bozo. I was never a bozo.
See, and Bozo I was fine with, because Bozo kind of looks like somebody else. Sorry. Oh shit. Now I'm going to get fucked with. Yeah. Thank you. Oh man, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm saying this now. If something happens to me, I am sorry. And he's pissed.
Somebody wants me to go take the lid off. I'm not going to, but somebody wants me to go take the lid off right now.
I'm sorry about that, because that's not, even though you took privilege from that, but you are not Bozo. Thank you.
I got a jar of dirt. Oh my God.
That's all I need. You know what I mean? So that's, and then that's where a lot of my stuff came from as kids, because look at, I have this fear, but then it's like, oh, but that's a bird. I'm going, but that's a cool bird, opposed to a seagull that's a rat with wings, or a pigeon that's a rat with wings, in my eyes. You know what I mean? So like I have that. So but then as life goes on and research, and I learn things, oh, well, the ravens and crows are a positive thing. They're not a negative thing of why they're following me.
No.
You know? So it's like, oh, okay.
Owls have a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They eat rodents. They keep the rodent concentration down. Yep. But metaphysically, they can be a good thing or a negative thing, depending on who is working at the time and what their intention is. So whenever I see a person, like say on Facebook, you get that line of, you may know. Okay, I don't. Stop it. But something tells you to click on it, and then there's nothing but owls. Okay, you really need to look at why there's nothing with owls with that person, because that may be somebody you need to help. They may be asking for help, or that may be somebody that is using owls for a negative purpose. So you need to feel the energy. And that's just like our childhood fears. You need to look at why you have that fear. You need to figure that out, and then you need to face it. And I know it's a bitch to face it.
I mean,
if you don't face your fear, if you don't work yourself through it, you're always going to have that fear. And I don't like little bitty spiders. I'm not afraid of them, but I don't like them, and that's okay. I don't think I'm actually afraid of anything anymore. I'm not afraid of that soul shard coming back. In fact, I kind of welcome it, because that's going to help me learn. I'm not afraid of an owl landing in my garden, because I'm going to talk to that motherfucker. I want answers. Why are you here? And if I get taken again, which I know I've been taken multiple times, I know it. I want answers. You need inform me why this is happening, why you keep taking me, why you put an implant in my thumb so you can keep finding me. I want answers. And that's why I want this disclosure to happen, because I want to know where to go to knock on that door and say, hey, it's me, mother. You can talk to me.
I mean, having fear is, I mean, if you really want to think about it, it helps fuel your growth.
It does.
It does, you know. And then I've always had this thing with fear that I've always had this acronym. It's like fear, you know, face everything and rise. Face everything and rise.
Or face everything and run. You have a choice.
I've lived through my greatest fear.
You did, and I'm proud of you.
You know, so like I said earlier, you know, the divorce, it just stirs up, you know, the post-traumatic from that. You know, I fear it in ways that are different.
It's okay.
You know what, my biggest confrontation is just my biggest fear anymore. Like that's it. I've done so much confronting. I have been backed into a corner, and that's my fear, is don't back me into a corner. I fear what I become backed into a corner, because I'm not nice. I've worked my whole life to be nice. I was trained to be mean. I was trained to be hateful. I was trained to be cutthroat. So for me, even as a young child, I have to go back, and I have to go back to my basic teachings from my grandparents and everything else. And the second that I was ripped away from them, that's when I was taught to be this spiteful bitch. And I don't want to be a spiteful bitch. So that's like my fear. Like, I don't have fears of the dark. I don't have fears of this. I don't have fears of that. My fear is becoming the person that I was trained to be.
I totally get that, because I have to tell myself a lot. I am slowly becoming the person I am meant to be, instead of the person that I became.
I'm not going to be the person that I was told that I was. Yeah. Right. I'm not going to be the fuck up. I'm not going to be the this. I'm not going to be the that. And that's the psychological fear for me is like, it is huge. So for me, backing me into a corner to the point where I'm breathing heavy, and I'm angry, and I'm mad. It's not a pretty thing. And my kids will tell you that it's not a pretty thing. My ex-husband will tell you that it's not a pretty thing. So like, I avoid those situations like the plague.
And see, that's what my last 9-month lesson did. Not only did she pretty much pick me up and put me in a cardboard box and start shutting the lids, so I had no access to anybody, no help, no support. She jumped in and put me in the corner. And that is when I had to stand up and open those flaps and climb out of that box. I had to stand up for myself and help myself. And I had to use my words. And I'm really proud of how I use my words, because I use my words in a way that I've never used my words.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it in the right way, and it was still taken wrong. And that's not on me.
No,
not on me.
I don't care how people view me. I do have the fear of not belonging to a point.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think we all do, but then I'm comfortable with not belonging. And that's something that's the reason why I called Keith. Like, I don't feel like I fit in certain situations, even though I'm told, but that's because I've been so isolated, and I've been so
trained
to think that I don't belong, that I don't fit in, that nobody loves me, that nobody's going to care. Like, I've had that ingrained into me. You know, so now I have my feet. I'm grounded. And if that person were to walk back into my life, I really, well, first of all, it wouldn't be like a warm welcome back into my life. I can tell you that much. I don't know how I would handle the situation. I mean, I have seen this person out in public. I've seen Therese out in public. I'm just going to say I don't give two shits. I don't care if she sees this or not. I've seen Therese out in public, and I just turn around and I grab the two kids and I go and I leave. I walk away. And not because I'm scared, right? Because I don't want that. I don't need that.
You are protecting those kids from seeing and hearing a potentially destructive situation.
And I'm in that situation right now with one of my children, the one that just keeps walking back in. It might be the crazy blonde.
Hi, Abby.
But go for a second. I'm talking about you, and you don't need to hear it. I love you, beautiful.
Happy birthday.
She's gone.
Okay.
Sort of.
I'm still here.
I am still here.
I am still here. I have not gone anywhere.
But you know, she's in the same position that I was as a wee one, right? And somebody keeps mentioning, you know, well, such and such isn't your REALDAD. And now she,
That's not anybody's business.
It's not anybody's business, right? But yet, okay, we'll grab Mr. Snuggletons and go. It's none of anybody's business, first of all. Mm-hmm. Second of all, yes, he is. He's the one that puts the roof over the head. He's the one that puts the food on the table. He's the one that gives her the arms, you know. I mean, he is, and he has been for many years now. She's going to be 8. Trust me, it's been many years that he's been this person in her life. But I don't need her growing up with the complex that I did, and like what Renee did. Like, we're not wanted, we're not needed, we're not this, we're not that, we're not good enough. You know, well, why? Especially being a female. A female does not need to hear that about her biological donor, right? Like we don't need that. It develops this complex. So like I have that fear for my child.
Yeah.
Well, it took me a long time to realize this, and I think it took after my stepfather, who then later on I do now say is my dad. Anybody can be a father. It takes that one special person to step up to be that DAD.
Yeah, you don't have to be blood to be a parent. No. You don't have to be blood to be a sibling.
Nope.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the way that I raised my kids, because I was adopted. And because being in the military with my first husband, we had to make our family. I was in Hawaii by myself at 16, married to him, having my first kid. Do you think my family came? No, it was Hawaii. That was expensive. So who did I have around me? My military sisters, right? Mm-hmm. Travis's military brothers. That became our family. That became Aunt Riri. That became Auntie Nina. That became, you know, that was the foundation that we laid for the kids. And then when I got out, away from that relationship, and I got the farm, my kids, I did not bring my kids around my family for the obvious reasons, right? Uh-huh. And so therefore we made our family, and that my kids had grandparents, my kids had aunts and uncles. Were they biological? Absolutely not. What they were was a necessity, though, of a family, and it created some of the best moments in our lives. My kids can look back and say, you know what? I had a great childhood. Despite this, and this, our family was huge. We were loved and everything else. So, like, my fears are just, I don't know if I can say different. They're not really about me. They're about my children and my grandchildren. And that's programmed, right? And that's probably where I had my breakdown the other day with my with my grandmother. Like, I understand her pain now. I literally understand her pain. I understand the loneliness.
We learn what they went through after they transition, and they can help us understand. I didn't get to have the conversation with my dad while he was still alive because he got dementia. Same with mom. I didn't get to have the conversations that I wanted to have because I had not healed enough at the time in order to have that conversation. I just blamed. Well, after I got my healing and they passed and I accepted it, and then I could start hearing them, I could have that conversation with them. Hey, you know what? I learned a lot about you. I understand why this happened and why that happened. I don't blame you anymore. I forgive you for that. Thank you for trying to do what you did for me. I get it. I understand. And help me try to do better with mine. But I was able to have that conversation, and that really helped me understand why mom did what she did, why dad did what he did, why they didn't do what they were supposed to do. It all makes sense now because I've been through some of it.
Right. And that's where I'm saying, you know, when our children get older, to help with the programming of the DNA, to have that open, honest conversation, not to shy away from those conversations. Sit down and really have them. When you will know, you know, don't wait until you're on your deathbed, because death may come tomorrow. So you need to say, and you need to teach now, and you need to heal those lines now.
Yeah.
And that's healing generational curses at the same time, right? Because I mean, that generational, you know, repeat cycle is programmed into our DNA. So if we can turn around and take that and use that now to our benefits and admit when we're wrong, admit mistakes, that is the best thing that we can do for our children and our grandchildren, is to sit down and say, you know what? Hi, I once was a drug addict. And you know what I learned from this? That it's not going to get you anywhere. And if that child ends up being a drug addict, what do? You stand there and you know how to handle the situation then, right? But you've had that open-ended, honest conversation with that child. Hey, you come from I had to have this conversation with my kids. You come from a long line of alcoholics. I think you're drinking too much and you need to stop. You need to put it in check. Is it worth it? Is it worth it pushing away everybody? And I have one right now. I've just had to step away and say, you know what? When you're ready, you come to me. And does it hurt? Yes. Does it suck? Yes. But at this point, anything that I say is just going to be turned around and used against me. But I've already had that conversation with them. Like, you need to watch this. This is what you're doing, and this is wrong.
We plant seeds.
Right.
We say something, they hear it. They may not agree with it at that time, but over time, that seed may grow. My son, he is an awesome individual. So is my daughter. And I planted seeds with her a long time ago. And I'm very proud of her. And I'm very proud of my son. I just recently learned that my son virtually doesn't drink anymore. And I think that's because of the conversations that he and I have had after that thing was removed and I started healing. And we had so many conversations in the garage, heated conversations, but they needed to happen because I needed to get things out. He needed to get things out. We needed to hear each other's words and how we felt about that whole situation of them growing up. I needed to hear that. And so we would take a break and we would both think about it. And then we'd have another one and it was better. And we'd take a break. We'd have another one and it was better. And now he is all on this health kick and following the astrology and the moon phases. And holy shit, kid, you listened. But
Be
patience.
the, how do I want to put this? And Renee will get this. For me, having boys, I wanted to be the example for them to what to look for in a partner. I wanted my kids to fall in love with somebody who is going to care about them, who is going to take care of them, and who is who. And that's where I have Megan, and I throw my hands up. I look at Megan, and oh, I'm going to start crying. She's absolutely amazing. She's the best daughter-in-law I could have ever asked for. Have we had our ups and downs? Absolutely. But you know what? I look at Megan and I see a younger version of me. So I know that she will go to hell and back for my son, go to hell and back for those grandkids. And the best thing that I can do is I can sit back and I can say, okay, Megan, this is what I learned in my relationship. This is what I learned. These are the mistakes that I made. You know, let's work through this, because my son's not perfect and he's made some mistakes, and I'm very proud of him for admitting those mistakes and bringing them to the table. And he's willing to work on those mistakes because he's learned that from now his father. Right? He sees his father trying to learn through the mistakes that he made as well. Right?
Mhm.
So like when my ex-husband and I look at Dylan and Megan, we see the younger version of ourselves, and we want to support that. So we support them together as a family. I want Derek to find somebody who's going to love him like I love him. I want Nate to find somebody who's going to love him like I love him. And I want Avelina to find a man that loves me like her daddy does.
Yeah. And can put up with her shit.
Holy, I already pray for him. I have since before she was born. I already pray for him. But no, I mean, honestly, like be the role model for your child. You know, if you don't like something about you, you know, look deep inside of you and change that and bring that out. And why do you act like this? Why do you react? Why do you think this way? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? And a lot of times it's trauma from our childhood.
Yeah. On that note, ladies, I'm going to have to hop off of here so I can get ready for bed for work tomorrow, so I'm not late again. But Renee, I want to give you last shot at verbalization.
Verbalization. All right. So I'm just going to end this because somebody out there needs to hear this, because we talked about DADs and not whatever, and family is not family. Like family can be anybody.
Yeah.
Listen to me. I had a wise man from a wise TV show series that I absolutely love. Bobby Singer said it best.
Oh,
family don't end in blood, but it doesn't start there either.
that is fucking perfect.
So
That is
just
perfect.
remember, somebody out there needs to hear that, other than me constantly, because I always say that. That's like a mantra thingy, but it's the truth.
Family can be toxic. And it is okay to see it and remove yourself from that toxic situation. Hi, Zelda. Mama needed kisses. Mama needs love. It's okay to remove yourself from that situation. It is okay to look at why that situation is toxic. Is it you? Is it them? Is it both? It is important to look at all sides of the situation and
own it.
Yes, that is perfect. Own it.
Own it.
Yeah, Mary Jane, Bobby Singer is like my spirit animal, just saying.
Yes.
He's my, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Mary Jane, I'm just going to put this out. If you two don't mind, if you need help with anything, this is something we do. We help people with paranormal and spiritual and metaphysical and life issues. We are not professionals, but we have been through some shit. So feel
paranormal free shit, physical shit, metaphysical shit.
Yeah.
All kinds of shit.
Yep. And I want to thank you for sticking around with us.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
we
thank you.
We have one person watching, and I think it's her.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it says one, but you know what? I have somebody that's in my chats that's saying that they're still watching.
Yeah, the number is never accurate.
Right.
FB has been a little wonky because I don't know. It said that it only got shared out twice. I don't know because you get limited on how many shares you can share. And I don't know if you noticed, but the Otters Den has like a couple things that we follow now. So, and I share to them.
Thank you.
So, yeah, and it stops me at 10. I don't know. I went 3 times. So I shared it out 30 times. So it's okay.
Thank you. But I was having a very hard issue of sharing out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And that is FB.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Adrian said that it said we were live and not that we are live. So,
well, we're still live.
We're still alive.
Right. I know. I'm here.
This time, I like I said, I've already 3 times is enough already. I don't need any more. So next time is the forever sleep. Because I could, the forever sleep. Oh, the dirt nap. The quiet.
Yes.
All right. Well,
more. See, again, with the morbid, creepy shit. That's what I was. I was the creepy girl.
As the little girl comes in the screen, hi, you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
What do you say?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Tomorrow's my birthday.
How old are you going to be?
8.
8, almost double digits. I keep saying 10 more years.
8 is an awesome year. That is infinity.
Yeah. 8 was a fun year.
Turn that 8 sideways and just keep going.
Yep.
You'll understand that one day.
Mama has that tattoo, doesn't she? Yeah, don't. All right, I love you all where you're at.
Yes.
I'm gonna go feed this beast. And obviously, both of my blondes need attention.
Just wait, Mama. So,
I love you all. She overshares, and I don't want this to be permanent on the internet.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna hit the video, and y'all have a good night.
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 Hello, and welcome to the Otter's Den. Grab your favorite beverage and snacks, grab a seat, and delve into the known and the unknown. We have shows every other Monday and every other Monday. Let me explain. One Monday, Joni and I discuss the current astrology, how it affects us both on personal, countrywide, and global scales, and then how to navigate through it all to improve our overall quality of life. The next Monday, Jan and Renee join me as we discuss, well, everything. This includes the paranormal, cryptids, psychic abilities, hauntings, attachment, possessions, aliens, abductions, self-help, life coaching, mental health, personal health, and the list goes on. Thank you in advance for joining us. Now, it's time to sit back and enjoy. Hello, and welcome to the Otter's Den.